Get streaming. On Twitch, catch up. There it is. Twitch itself has caught up to the fact I am live. We're back. It's more of the Age of Dragons. More of that Dragon Age. Back in we load. Once again we return. Right. Where to start today? Because we did big plot quests on stream the other day. We've got Morrigan, I believe, now at the at Skyhold. That's a fun update. That's at least one person we've got to go chat at length with. Oh, it's going to be a busy stream. How is everyone doing today? I have an annoying bit of loose nail I'm trying to remove with clippers before we start, because otherwise it's just going to annoy me. I'm going to know it's there. There we go. Hey, Tara. Glad to hear you're doing great. Hurrah. Good news. Huzzah. You know what? We've got this to do. Let's start by doing some sit at the throne and make judgments on people. That's a gentle way to ease into the stream.
This wasn't my idea. It is an issue born of titles and heir apparency and... Halam Shiral is having difficulty freeing trade routes formerly controlled by Duchess Florian. Had she been tried, her assets would be forfeit and considerable bureaucracy avoided. So they ask that we judge her.
Ah! This is because I didn't do the quest to find the, 10 special statues that were hidden in the... at the fancy party we went to, in order to get the evidence against this person. That's a real ball ache to do. We instead have a corpse to do a trial against.
This is supposed to make sense? I'm judging a box?
Box with some flies flying around it.
That was the time allotted for rebuttal. Her crimes negated any claim to... Forgive me, there is an odor.
Yeah, there would be. Ooh, I have unique dialogue.
Strangely enough, something similar happened to an uncle of Emperor Leandra II. His trade routes were returned to the reigning monarch. Why don't we just follow suit?
A wise choice.
Phew!
Thank you for making it swiftly.
Hooray! We picked all the upgrades that let us get the bonus dialogue options, meaning that we don't have to sit and make small talk with a corpse. That's appreciated. When did I last talk to, I gotta find, where is she? Liliana. I gotta go see how Liliana's doing. I think it's been a while since I chatted to Liliana. Let's methodically work around. Yeah, remind me, where is, let's see, Liliana, Dorian, Varric, Vivienne, Josephine's over there. Morrigan's this way. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna have to remember to come here. This is not on my usual. This is not on my usual loop. Okay. We can make this work. Let's start by doing the people who might not have
my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard.
Yeah, we'll chat to the people that might not have big, huge, lengthy stuff first.
So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
Tell me more about Bianca.
I'm not making any promises here. Ask.
What makes the Merchants Guild such a danger to her?
Well, to be fair, it's more of a danger to me. Technically, we're not supposed to be within 300 leagues of one another. If it got back to the guild that we were seen together, they'd freeze my assets and then have me killed. Maybe not in that order.
Oh.
What in the world did you do to cause that?
We almost started a clan war. Does it matter? I can't change it now.
I mean, still curious. You nearly starting a clan war is like a story people would be curious about.
How do you know Bianca? The lady, I mean, not the crossbow.
I met her years ago when she still lived in Kirkwall, and I was looking for someone with mechanical skills. Bianca is, beyond a doubt, the most brilliant smith you'll ever meet.
Sort out your feelings with her then.
She got married and moved to Orlais.
Ha! As ain't nobody says they're asking for autographs because hearing Magic Ken is an expensive collector's item. Burn!
Bianca is married? Somehow I thought that the two of you had a history.
Bianca's family are Kalnas. Surface dwarves, so conservative they don't take a piss without asking the ancestors first. They picked out a smith caste boy for her. Wealthy, respected, has a great anvil collection. The perfect husband.
A surface
I heard
dwarf.
the wedding was lovely.
Sounds like the least interesting kind of
Actually
dwarf.
showed up for anyway.
Hey, artist synth.
Alright, tell me the truth. Bianca made your crossbow, didn't she? I mean, it has her name.
It's not that simple. The Carta thinks my Bianca was a freak success by a Carta inventor who could never duplicate it. If they thought anyone else was involved, someone who could make one work, things would be bad. So, I really can't tell the story. I don't want any more blood on my hands.
Fair enough.
So, how long have the two of you been together?
Well, if you want to split hairs, we're not. Usually there's a continent between us at all
Let's not
times.
split hairs though. How
We write
long?
letters. Now and then we manage to meet up. I don't know if that's together.
Emotionally, it is.
It's been, what, 15 years? Great.
I guess that's...
Sure.
Cool. Okay, Varric is good. Let's deal with this tower, because we can do this tower quickly. Solus, you got anything new going
There
on?
are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations. The machinations, betrayals.
I imagine everyone will have at least
After
a
our
little bit of
time
new
in
dialogue, because we did a
Hampshire
big
Isle,
story
I understand
quest.
why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I'm pleased you had a good time.
Political gambits, broken promises, half-truths. It is a palace full
Oh yeah,
of
you
motivation.
love fucking political
And
gambits and
motivation is a
half-truths,
great
don't you,
thing,
Solus?
In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally, especially after helping her neutralize Briala.
Am I sensing concern over how we dealt with Briala?
No. Why would I disapprove of... Oh, because we're both elves. I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
You don't consider yourself to have much in common with the elves, despite supposedly being an elf? I mean, you are an elf, but are you suggesting maybe you think you're, you know, there's elves and then there's you up here, some different kind of elf? Perhaps Solus. Is that what you're getting at? Solus stood in front of a bunch of pictures of wolves, with the next game being called Dreadwolf, originally, and definitely not being about elven gods. Definitely not, definitely not. Hey, Johnny Desu.
You are an elf, and a powerful mage as well. Have you ever considered trying to help your people?
I know he's not gonna like this, but...
By attacking Orlesian nobles? Should I skulk around the Dales, mourning my lost heritage? I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to
I
help.
wanna put the
As for
screws
elves
on him
of
because he's
Orlais,
being a dick.
Brianna did what she could. She was an admirable woman.
Like, it's not,
even
it's
if her
not,
gambit failed.
he's shouting at me, but what he's saying is not his actual thing. It's, I don't consider myself one of those lesser things. Is he the elven version of a pick-me? Not even, is it that? Or is it more just, it feels like calling him an elf feels like calling a billionaire, you know, like telling a billionaire you seem like one of the common folk, and they're being like, how very dare you, I'm a very different class of human being to them. It's what if you said, yeah, hey Elon Musk, you're a human being just like that homeless person on the street. He'd be like, no. To call that a human being and me a human being is incorrect. We are not the same thing. Like, it's that kind of a response.
Even if we couldn't help Briala, I hope we can make life better for Orlesian elves.
Stop Corypheus. That will do for a start. It speaks well of you to feel for the oppressed. Help them for that. Know them for what they are, instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears.
I don't think my Inquisitor is just seeing elves as a pair of pointed ears. I think she's pissed off
Good afternoon.
that you seemingly don't care about the continued oppression of your people. And she thinks it's a bit weird that she's more concerned about, you know, elven liberation than you seem to be. But again,
We'll talk later.
it's almost as if you've got some kind of hidden agenda going on there, Solus. It's almost like you have some fucking bullshit going on.
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace.
You're not going to have much for
Saved
me
an
because I haven't done your
empress, and now
quest
she's
yet.
eating out of your hand. Perfect mental image. All this dancing, politics, and murder.
Terra says, almost as if he doesn't seem to see anyone else but him as really alive. Yeah, it's almost like the, there's kind of people that talk about, like, oh, those right-wingers that will describe people that they don't know as NPCs, as if they're just on autopilot. They're not really people, they're fucking constructs. It's that kind of vibe. Yeah, it's the... Oh, where am I thinking of a quote from? It was, there's some piece of media not long ago I've experienced that was... there was some conversation between two characters that was something like, does a human stop to think about the motivations of an ant? You know, or do they simply not... Do the needs of the ant simply not mentally register for the human? That is how I view you, humanity. It was something to that effect. And I know that is incredibly vague and is not going to help anyone know what I'm talking about, but it's that same... It's reminding me of the vibe of a conversation I saw in some other piece of media that I can't put my finger on.
That's something you actually miss?
Who wouldn't? All the drama, the scandal, the petty maneuverings. Back home,
Yeah, I've not done
we engage in
Dorian's...
social affairs
found
with
his
the
book
grim
for him yet.
intensity of war. When blood is spilled, the battle is won. Less fun when you're the target, but to watch. My, yes. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair.
Let me Google and see if Google will find this quote. Okay, someone else is looking for the same quote. No, I'm not looking for this one. Okay, yeah, someone else is looking for the same quote. Oh, it's Full Metal Alchemist. Yes, that... Sorry, I was looking through a list of people trying to guess it, and they were like, oh, is it from the Avengers? Is it from Babylon 5? No, it's, Führer Bradley. No, it's not Führer Bradley, it's Father. It's Father in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. When you see an insect lying on the ground, you stop to consider it a fool. The life of an insect is so beneath you that it would be a waste of your time to even consider judging it. That would be an accurate summation of my feelings towards you humans. That quote is Solus looking upon... I was going to say other elves, but, like, a lot of life generally. Oh. That's enough. Let's start another conversation.
Always with the questions.
Just in case you have anything new. No, you don't. Cool.
I heard of your verdict on Alexius, Inquisitor. Research on your behalf is almost too kind. I hope you know what you're doing. Do be wary of anything that...
Okay, yeah, you're good.
Greetings to you, Inquisitor. You'll find my skills are exceptional. I hope they Yes, Inquisitor.
Who is around? Who is around? Liliana's next floor up. Oh. Things are doing well. Liliana, have you wandered off? Are you somewhere up here? There you are.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor.
Oh,
I
yes.
thought the idea would
Last...
gain momentum. There is,
I'll wait for a
after all,
gap.
no shortage of vultures circling the Sunburst throne.
Yeah, last we spoke with Liliana, we were like, hey, we saw what might have been Divine Justinia in the Fade, and she told me to pass on a message to you. She said, tell Liliana I'm sorry I failed her. And we passed that message on, and Liliana was like, nope, she's never done anything wrong, she's never failed me. That must mean it wasn't Justinia. I refuse to believe that quote.
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
Whoever becomes divine will have my support if she requires it.
And I'm sure whoever becomes divine will absolutely require the Inquisition's backing. The Chantry is faltering, but it still has influence over the people.
Yeah.
Who tells the people what's right? Who do they look to in times of peril? A divine with enough support can change the Chantry. And with it, Thedas.
Yeah.
But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems.
Oh, I first person for a moment there. Yeah, let's
Message from Divine Justinia.
crack these out.
That's a shock. You alright reading it?
Thank you for the concern, Inquisitor. But I am. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
Wouldn't it be good if whatever's hidden there lines up with those last words that she told me to tell you from the Fade, therefore confirming that it was her? You know, wouldn't that be helpful?
Why hide things in Valence? What's so special about it?
Justinia was revered mother at the Chantry there for many years before she became the Divine. It is a place that holds great meaning for her.
As if I wasn't already busy enough with trying to find time to play games in September, I realized the Plucky Squire comes out on the 17th of September, which is like 10 days away. And I'm like, oh, can I get through Inquisition in time to stream the Plucky Squire to then stream Echoes of Wisdom? So I might make some of these streams a little longer running than they've been, just to make up a little time. Like, we might have some streams that go till 1 AM UK rather than midnight. We might just go a little longer. Just see if we can get to the end just that little bit faster so I can stream the Plucky Squire when it comes out. Because, God, there's too many good games in September.
You know what you're looking for?
The Divine was a powerful woman who used her position to obtain all sorts of things. Whatever she hid in Valence would very likely benefit the Inquisition and must be kept from falling into the wrong hands. If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
No, I'm not going to say, I instruct you, she doesn't. No, if your fucking holy person left you instructions, like, again, I'm not going to step in the way of you following them. Hey, Thimba. I'm sorry to hear you're exhausted. Hopefully it at least went okay.
I'll help in whatever way I can.
Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree to come with me to Valence. One more thing. If what is hidden in Valence is as valuable as I think, we're not going to be the only ones looking for it. I shall meet you at the Chantry in Valence. Try not to delay.
I will add it to my list of side quests to do. Okay, you're good. Okay, so I think that's everyone in this tower here. I think that's all this batch of people. Let's quickly go do the people that we can go chat to by heading out to the courtyard here. That does sound tiring. I'm sorry to hear it was a long one. Right, Cassandra, you got anything new? Oh, you've got like an actual cutscene again.
Cassandra.
Oh.
The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree?
Yep.
I've had enough for one day, Mother.
This decision is growing. I'm going to be forced to choose between the two of them. Look, I will say, Liliana is like the obvious person. Like, Divine Justinia has left packages for her and left her letters to be sent after death, and may have given us a message to give to her from beyond the grave as a ghost. Like, Justinia definitely seemed to be on team. Like, Liliana would probably have been on team Liliana for successor.
The fun never ends
but
in Skyhold, does it?
The Inquisitor was a funny Kunari. That's what they'll say one day. You watch. I assume you've heard that Liliana and I are both candidates to be the next Divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
Oh, who's responding to my thing I wrote? I wrote a thing today, and it has been picking up steam, which is not bad for a thing I, threw out in 45 minutes. I wrote a thing about, hey, last night I was quite excited seeing the reveal of the new vocalist for Linkin Park, and then I woke up this morning to the news, oops, Linkin Park vocalist is a milkshake duck. And I wrote a thing about it being really tiring to get excited about things, but still persevering to try and be excited about things regardless. And I'm happy with how the piece turned out. But it was a lot emotionally to write, but also it's been nice to see it being shared a lot today and have a lot of people go, oh, this was really good. I'm like, thanks. I sat down with an emotion and it happened, so I'm glad it's good. Thimba says, in other news, I spent $5 and I got a new game plus DLC, brand new release, so that was a win. That's cool. What was the game and DLC, if you don't mind me asking?
How can you and Liliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar
Mining
the
Max.
Third was
Awesome.
sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Liliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
Why am I not a candidate?
I think you'd make an excellent Divine.
Truly? I never look good in hats.
Don't you want Vivian to be the Divine?
Surely
Isn't she
it
the
was
one you
never
trust the
meant
most?
to be like
Fuck
this.
off, Vivian.
The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars. This cannot be what they intended when it all began.
I haven't spoken to Vivian
Chantry
in a
should provide
while.
faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
I really like her approach to this. Without spoiling too much, because I don't know where has aired up to in Dice Funk this season so far. But I can talk about one thing I know has aired. I really like Cassandra's read here in terms of, like, you sometimes in a religion have to, like, have a point of, I'm gonna do a thing even though I know it may upset the higher-ups because I feel it is the right thing in this moment. Not the best example, but it's one I know has aired. Barbella summoning the Riddle Snake, when it eats that one kid. I think about Cassandra a lot in the way she talks about, like, declaring the Inquisition despite knowing it would piss off the church that she is a part of.
You're concerned, then make it better.
Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
Hey, the BT. Mystery stream guests for the day. A whole season of MLB The Show 25 with baseball legend Billy Baseball. I assume Billy Baseball is a goof you are making, but I don't know enough about baseball to know if Billy Baseball is real or not. I had to pause in the middle there because I stopped to go, is MLB baseball? I'm assuming it's baseball. Major League Baseball. Pretty sure it is. I don't know enough to know for certain that MLB is Major League Baseball. I think it is. It could be Major League Basketball with Billy Baseball, which would be all the more amusing. So there you go. There's my response to today's guess of the mystery stream in October. Oh, I can help you become divine. Oh. Yeah, Major League Baseball. Yeah, I think that's what I said. I think I knew the term.
You're not the only candidate. What about Liliana?
Liliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Liliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
Oh.
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change. I like a lot of the things. I like a lot of the things that Cassandra says. But I do ultimately think that Cassandra is a more conservative answer to who should be the next Divine. She tries to steer and course correct toward a better future in small incremental steps, and there is only so much change you can make to a religion in small incremental steps before eventually you come up against something that there's no way to do in small incremental steps and you have to rip the band-aid off. Yeah, Terra says Liliana will change this radically. Yeah, Liliana will rip that fucking band-aid off. And it will divide the church. I like to think of, like, Liliana as the kind of divine that causes, like, a religious schism, that you end up with your Protestant-Catholic split or whatever. But, and I know this from having played this before, Liliana will use that radical change to be like, we need to make shit better for the elves. We need, like,
we need proper equality, and the only way to get that is to fucking start over and to be less bigoted. And I think of Liliana and I'm like, who would I want as divine? And I think about this like when I was a Christian and I was within the church, and I'm like, let's say I was picking the next pope. Would I want to pick a pope who slowly course corrected towards LGBT acceptance in the church? Or would I want a pope who would say, fuck it, schism the church if you want to. Trans people are who they say they are, and they are divine, and you are not welcome in the church if you disagree. I know which of those I would prefer, because at the very least it would force the arseholes to fucking raise their hands and go, I'm on team arsehole. And you at least know where everyone stands, and you can start to build something from there, and that's kind of what I like about Liliana.
So this is your new crusade.
I've agreed to nothing yet.
And if the Chantry calls on you?
Then I will do whatever I can, for as long as I can. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now.
Yeah,
Nothing
I don't think we can
For
offer
now,
to help
restoring
Liliana,
order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority.
until we've done her quest. Like, I think we've got to go do her quest and find what's in the box, and then we can go find her and be like, hey, I'm on team.
All is well.
I'm on team you. Okay.
Another time.
You're good for now. I think Liliana's quest is probably the one we're gonna do today. I think once we've chatted to everyone, I kind of want to go do Liliana's quest.
Shame the alliance with the Chief's people didn't work out. He hasn't said anything, but he's feeling it.
Abel.
You know I've got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam Sharal was a mess. At least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
You've got a way with words, Bull.
I do what I can.
Maybe we can find some other uses for that mouth of yours.
Yeah. When is the next meal anyway? Orlesian food always leaves me hungry. Need anything, Kadan?
See?
Actually, is there anything new for Let's Spend Some Time Together? Does this get any new scenes right now? Oh!
Damn, that was...
Wasn't expecting it to be quite that.
Good,
0 to 100. Oh, we got a titty alert. It's tasteful video game nudity. Twitch. It's tasteful in video games.
Oh, I needed that.
My pleasure.
Oh,
well,
you know what?
Maybe some of it's yours. All this time, and you've never said Kato. If I'd known you'd last this long, I'd have let you pick your own watchword.
There we go. How's this, Twitch?
People choose their own watchwords?
Normally, yes. It can be anything, so long as it's not something you'd ever shout by accident. Josephine might pick Madrigal, while Colin would go with phylactery. As for Cassandra, it'd probably be
Cass, were you woken
soft,
up by titty?
like silk.
Should I
Sure
chat?
about
Chat.
that?
Do I re-reveal
Hey,
titty?
Ben Hasrath, remember? I've got everyone pegged.
I really like. Oh, titty's moved. We gotta move. Unless we're on team, we show the titty. Hey, support the striking SAG-AFTRA voice actors who are trying to get rid of AI in voice acting in the video game industry. That's what that emote is for. Yeah, we said this at the time. I really like that Iron Bull is clearly, like, aware enough of the dynamics of, like, safe BDSM. He came in with, like, a pre-prepared, good, safe word. But as soon as it's, like, become clear that this is a lasting relationship, he's like, well, yeah, like, you can have your own, have your own word if you want. I know enough to know, like, we should probably have one of these in advance. Not showing the titty is homophobic. Yeah, Terra, you make a good argument. It is homophobic not to show the titty. And I wouldn't want to be homophobic here on Twitch. I, creator of the wine that makes you gay, would not want to be homophobic. There we go. Let's find out Iron Bull's suspicions of what everyone's safe words would be.
What about Vivienne?
Tough one. I'm going with Periwinkle. She looks like a periwinkle kind of lady.
What about Sarah?
Well, it wouldn't be shite, or you'd never even get started. Honestly, though, Sarah's not the kind who lets you tie her down.
What about Varric? Wait, don't tell me. Bianca.
No, he would shout Bianca in sex.
No, it would have to be something he wouldn't shout during sex.
Right.
Maybe Paragon or Tig.
Here's a tough one. Cole.
You know, he stumped me. I actually asked him. He thought really hard about it, then finally said his watchword was stop. I don't think he got it. Probably for the best, honestly.
No, honestly, it's a fucking clear one. You know, as long as you're very clear, like, stop means stop. That's not a bad word.
How about Blackwall?
Petit get deep enough under that armor. There's a man who lived the good life once.
Yeah, if you're not into consent play, stop is fine. Exactly. The arrowroot tea that makes you arrow. Saint Nobody, I love the arrowroot tea that makes you arrow. That's a great contribution.
If you want to make me use that watchword, you'll need to try harder.
Good to know. I'm a better man for having met you, Kadan. I just hope this made things a little easier on your end.
Even at this point, like, he's still like, I hope that having someone to just, like, having a space to go, I'm not responsible, you take the lead, I hope that's helpful for you. Like, he's so specifically aware of, like, I hope this dynamic is working for you.
I just wish we'd had time for the wedding before Corypheus showed up.
What?
I assumed we were getting married.
Ah!
The look on your face.
Oh, you are evil.
Oh, there we go. Right. Where were we going? Where were we going? Down we go! Let me down! No. Oh, we got... It's the main hall is here. Yeah, if we can do, like, the incidental new conversations with everyone in, say, the first hour of the stream, that gives us at least 2 hours, maybe closer to 3, to do Liliana's quest and see where we get from there. Yes, the lack of full damage in Skyhold is enjoyable. Right, so let's check in. You got anything else, Bull? Krem, you still standing on your chair as always? Wouldn't have you any other way. Okay, that's good. Cole, I haven't... did I get Cole's quest back?
Hey, you.
Oh, you've cooled right off now that I'm banging the bull, as it were. Yeah, we're gonna go further up. Oh.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
Yes, it would have, fellow autistic person. There is a wonderful little phrase that me and Jane use in moments like this, where one of us says something quite autistic, and it is a fucking TikTok from years ago that the two of us will quote at each other, and it's, we've both got autism, haven't we? That's good to know. And that is our little go-to phrase of that I agree with you, but that is quite tism.
That would have made everything much simpler.
The colors were pretty, though.
I'll talk to you later.
I'm glad you enjoyed the colors and weren't overstimulated by all of the sounds and people. Alright. Cullen. Let's see how Cullen is doing with withdrawal. Are you handling the withdrawal okay still? Then I'll check the list for who we still need to chat with. I can't be asked with Vivian. We're not going to worry about Vivian. Okay, yeah, you got a proper cutscene for me. Ooh, Blackwell. Blackwell's a good point. Blackwell might be...
I wanted to thank you. When you came to see me, if there's anything... This sounded much better in my head.
I trust you're feeling better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it always that bad?
The pain comes and goes. Sometimes I feel as if I'm back there. I should not have pushed myself so far that day.
Look, you don't need to apologize. You were in the throes of withdrawal and you were looking for permission to relapse, and you needed someone to tell you that you were strong enough to keep going. Like, you have nothing to apologize for.
I'm just glad you're all right.
I am. I've never told anyone what truly happened to me at Ferelden's Circle. I was not myself after that. I was angry. For years, that anger blinded me. I'm not proud of the man that made me.
I do really
distance
like
between myself
Cullen's story.
It's a start.
Like, Cullen's not... He's not a character I generally vibe with. He's not, like... He's not one of the characters I think about when I think about Inquisition. I'm gonna be honest. If you asked me to name all the Inquisition characters, like, let's say... a couple of weeks before I started this replay, there's a good chance I would have forgotten to mention Cullen. But when we're playing it, he's got a good story. He's an interesting guy.
You're a better person than you give yourself credit for.
Again, for 10 years ago, this...
But I know who I am.
Tackling some pretty good real-world themes for a 10-year-old game.
You've enough to worry about. How are you holding up?
I've met good people here. Knowing they have my back, it helps.
You certainly keep interesting company. I suppose I do as well.
Yeah, I maintain, I think this game would be a lot more popular if it had gotten to... If it had gotten to the bit where you start getting all these interesting character stories earlier, I think it would have done better. I think that's one thing that the original Mass Effect trilogy really understood better than Inquisition did, is you start laying the threads of those personal quests, like, as fucking early as you can get them laid. You wanna prioritize getting characters doing their chat to each other quests ASAP. Where am I? I remember which way we go. Cullen takes 3 games before it gets interesting. Yeah, exactly. Like, for any issues that the Mass Effect series has, like, the hook for what makes each of these characters interesting, its companions interesting, are pretty quick and clear. Like, the first time you meet, like, Jack, for example, in Mass Effect 2, it's like, cool, badass tattooed, biotic user who is, like, really standoffish, but you can instantly tell, like, there's a soft core there's a real heart of gold that is pushing away out of, like, fear for self-safety. It's a defense mechanism. Like, within minutes you can tell that's the dynamic, and you are given opportunities to interact with that very quickly. Like, it wastes no time to getting to, like, Here's the thing that this character is going to be interesting for. Is that a hook you want to follow?
I'd be perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter Palace. It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing, I know what the game entails, but the indifference to it all.
I didn't care for it myself.
I shouldn't be surprised. Their politics are less extravagant. The Empress rules a country. The Divine influences half a continent.
I don't want to become a Templar, really, though. That's all. Okay, yeah, so I saved you from relapse. Now I could become a Templar if I wanted to. Maybe I come back and become a Templar. I wasn't in the mood to be a Templar, but... hey, Blackwall! Oh, yeah, you're right, Blackwall does have new shit.
Someone I knew once described Adamant to me. Adamant is, and always will be, the Order, he said. A guardian on the edge of the abyss. The lone soul that stares into oblivion and doesn't waver. That's what Warden Commander Clarel tried to be.
Again.
Well, they all tried to be. I'm told her wardens
We'll
never wavered. They went to their deaths willingly. They died for us. And Corypheus twisted their sacrifice to make it his own.
Yeah, like, in, say, Mass Effect, you could guarantee that, like, if you went and spoke to one of your party members, at the very least, like, after every main mission, you'd never go more than, say, like, 2 main missions before someone would, like, have something interesting new to say. Blackwall's a really great example, where you can go, like, up to this point in the, in Skyhold, and he basically never has anything new to say to you. So you, like, the game wants you to keep going back and talking to a character who's giving you nothing new. Just for, at some point, they'll randomly decide you can have chats with them now. And, like, that really doesn't incentivize making sure not to miss anything with these characters.
We stopped him. We saved most of the Wardens.
But not all of them. And they died thinking they were doing something good. There's no one to blame but Corypheus. Even Clarel's intentions were righteous. Her desire to protect was so great it led her astray. It's not right. To want to do good, to be good, and have that turned against you.
At the end of the day, I guess all we can do is try, and hope for the best.
You're right. What matters is that we never give up. Clarel made mistakes, but she was a great woman. And she died a great woman. It's not the armor or the trappings of the Order. It's not the joining. At the heart of it, all a Warden is a promise. To protect others, even at the cost of your own life.
Oh, you're gonna have more. How many things are you going to suddenly decide you want to chat about? Yeah, here we go. The floodgates are open with you, aren't they? Like, why couldn't we have had that conversation earlier? Like, why wait until now to prompt that? Cullen's just not my type.
Want a drink?
No.
I've a hankering for company.
I think this is the quest one. Hello, I would like to get drunk and tell you of my needs as a character.
When I was a boy, there were these urchins who roamed the streets near my father's house. One day, they found a dog. A wretched little thing. It came to them.
Yes, Cullen is very straight boy.
Tied a rope around its neck and strung it up.
They don't sound like good people.
Not the fireside tale I was expecting, Blackwall.
Just listen. I did nothing. Not a damn thing. It was crying. I saw the kicking legs, the neck straining and twisting. And I turned around, went inside, and closed the door. I could have told my father, or alerted someone.
You were a kid. It's a lot to fucking
pretended it wasn't happening.
It's a lot to fucking process that death is happening. If you've never experienced death and you're a kid and death is happening in front of you, I don't blame you as a child for maybe having a I'm not ready to process this response to death. And not knowing how to... Because I think the thing, if you're a kid and you see this happening, to rush in and try and save that dog is to admit to yourself that that dog is dying and that death is happening in front of you, and that's a lot to fucking do. Like, depending on what age of kid you were, like, I have a degree of empathy for you as an adult going, I feel guilty about it, and I'm like, you were a kid, death's fucking overwhelming.
You said you were just a boy.
I was old enough to know the dog was suffering and that it was wrong. I may as well have tied the noose myself.
No.
We could make the world better. It's just easier to shut our eyes.
The BT. Well, look forward to Veilguard, where every single character is Pan. Every single character is open to it all. Which, I gotta be honest, I wonder how much that is to do with the fact that you can now be a trans or non-binary player character. I do wonder how much those facts are connected.
Nothing worth doing is easy.
Look at you. You would have done the right thing. We're lucky there are people like you in the world.
You would do the right thing today.
There's always some dog out there. Some fucking mongrel that doesn't know how to stay away.
Terra, I'll say this. I doubt Baldur's Gate 3 was an influence on pansexuality of romanceable characters in Dragon Age Veilguard, in as much as I know this much from experience with having done stuff with AAA games. Your script and voice acting are locked in early. Like, doing the, like, finalizing the script and, like, locking in the voice performances happens way before a game is, like, a finished, polished game that the world sees. Like, I can talk about this from the perspective of, like, I've done mock reviews of games where I've played games, like, 18 months before they release, where, like, all the voice acting is there. They're fully voice acted. Even while the entire world is, like, fucking grey cubes everywhere. Like, none of the environments are done, but the dialogue is there. And as big of a success as Baldur's Gate 3 was, I would be surprised if, as recently as the release of Baldur's Gate 3, Veilguard didn't have a sort of content lock and was in the we build all the fancy visual and, like, presentation and polish on top of that phase. You know, it's possible. It's possible. I could not say either way. It would not line up with my experience of development timelines for games that big. Good, that means they probably weren't just chasing a popular trend. Yeah, like, I can say as much as, like, I think the earliest I've done a mock review on a game was, like, 2 years out. Like, 2 years before it came out for a big AAA game. And, like, that was... Some of the voice lines were in there, some of them were, like, Microsoft Sam text-to-speech. And, like, at the 18-month mark, most of the mock reviews I do, like, the games have full voice acting, so it feels like, for a lot of AAAs, it's somewhere in the 2-year to 18-month mark that, like, the words are locked in. Oh, what's this flashing exclamation mark? Then we gotta go back to Blackwall. What have we got alerting us in here?
Inquisitor? Is there something I can do for you? I should really focus my attention on the injured.
What's this exclamation mark for? No idea. I guess I'm just going to ignore... unless I can find...
Oh. Oh, Bells, it's you. Of course. Oh, my maker, you cannot imagine how many letters I've received about the fracas at Halam Shiral. Fortunately, you tied twice as many threads as cut, although it is yet bewildering at the center.
You that's flashing? What is flashing? I have no idea what's flashing. I'm going to ignore that exclamation mark. I don't know what it is. Okay. Let's go back to Blackwool. Suddenly you have a plot. Bring me back to you so I can get plot again. Hello? Around here somewhere? Is he not here? Where is he? Oh, Sarah. We've not talked to Sarah in a while. Now, if I go back down to here, have you resurfaced? Okay, here we go. Here's our last big one. This is going to be our person with lots to tell us.
'Tis a large fortress, Inquisitor. To think, until recently, this place stood decrepit. Occupied
Oh,
only
there should
by
be a
the
note in
desperate and the
Blackwell's
lost.
area, okay.
Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is
I
pleased.
definitely remember how to play this game.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tarar Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
Oh, I've got so many people being whiny little babies in my social media because I dared say, hey, maybe it's kind of weird that Nintendo says some things about Zelda being a playable hero, and then they kind of seem to bear fruit in the game they make. How dare I suggest such a thing? How dare I do that? How dare I suggest Enuma might hold some lightly sexist opinions that just quietly bubbled into his work, maybe, based on the words he said.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice.
Well, thank you.
You were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal.
Zelda fans
This
are
I
always
swear
calm
to
and
you.
normal. You know how many times in that Zelda article / video I put up the other day, you know how many times I stopped to go, just to remind you and be really clear and direct, I'm really excited. I love Zelda games. I'm really excited for Echoes of Wisdom. But, like, the number of times I stopped to go, just to remind you, I don't dislike Zelda and I'm actually very excited for the game. I have these critiques, but I am excited. I do like it. And they're still like, how dare you fucking hate Zelda, you Zelda hater. I'm like, could not find less of a Zelda hater if you tried, friends.
Just don't hold anything back. We need every advantage.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may.
Okay. We are going to keep talking to Morrigan. But I'm going to fast travel over here and try and find that note first. You hate Zelda, that's why you don't have a Zelda tattoo. I literally have my fucking pixel hearts that were, like, explicitly Zelda inspired. My little pixel hearts. I am seeking to get a, I want to find someone that does good UV tattoos, because I want to get a UV Triforce on the back of my hand. Largely not visible, but at a rave, people are going to lose their shit over it. You know where I find this note at Blackwall's area for the quest? Oh, okay. It was here. I hadn't clicked the fucking left stick. I hate the left stick clicking fucking Soma mechanic.
The Spy Master has confirmed it. Blackwall is gone.
He would not have left unless he had a good reason.
It is not for me to speculate on Blackwall's motivations. Sister Leliana had us search the Warden's quarters. Not much to find, except this. It was missing from last week's reports. I don't know what Blackwall's interest in this particular matter is, but it...
Okay, we'll do Liliana's quest and then we'll do Blackwall's quest. I'm always... Is it Blackwall? Blackwell? I never remember when I'm saying it. One of the soldiers' responses for the Calais massacre was captured in Leeds. Yeah, okay. Well, for now, let's get back up here. We've got a Morrigan to chat with. I do a podcast with the most famous Zelda hater. Only 7 out of 10 Zelda hater. 7 out of 10, famously a score that means you hated something.
I understand you have spared the Grey Wardens from destroying what goodwill was left them. 'Tis good of you, considering the weakness Corypheus exploited was their own doing. Still, should a true archdemon one day arise, they will no doubt be needed. Or so they would have us believe.
Now that you've seen the Inquisition up close...
Let's give Morrigan a chance to waffle, and then we'll go side quest. Actually, Josephine, then we side questing.
I'll give you that. Soldiers are camped outside Skyhold in numbers that would give any nation pause. All this in precious little time, conjured from thin air through the power of fervor alone. I wonder if Corypheus suspected what he was enabling, just as I wonder what will become of all this once he is defeated.
We have to defeat him first. Then I'll worry about what's next.
Should that happen, the world will lie at your feet. Beware the heights you reach, Inquisitor. When this is done, many will be eager to knock you back.
And they'll probably succeed, given that we don't seem to be a major factor at the start of Veilguard.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah, yes. Whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kukari Wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge. Truth be told, our arrangement would not have lasted much longer. Too many wagging tongues, even for Celine.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand
Well,
boldly
yes.
before them and demand to know why I need some Chantry mage to teach me to control my power. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight?
The Blight began in the Kukari Wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. She is the reason the Blight was defeated. We did not part on good terms. I regret a great deal, but that, most of all. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope. Until now.
Okay, we've got one more branch
I
of
imagine your forces will be
conversation.
heading into the Arbor Wilds very soon. Trust me when I say that wherever the Alluvian is hidden, it is worth any effort to prevent Corypheus from acquiring it.
Alluvian, I know what that is. Like Alluvian gates, the warp portals that apparently Solus has a fucking bunch of in Veilguard. In that opening 20 minutes of gameplay that was shown at some point. The way that we get from I always forget the name of the fancy mage town that Dorian's from to where Solus is doing the ritual is through an Alluvian gate. I remember that. I know those words.
If you have questions, then ask.
Oh yeah, no, that's that. Tevinter, that's the
Wandering
one.
the gardens, I see.
I always forget the fucking place
What
name.
work have you been doing to...
Currently, my efforts are focused on determining what Corypheus is, and from where his power comes. The elven orb he carries is what draws my attention. I wonder if the power he used to tear open the Fade...
That was a little bit of an Origins recap, yeah.
Perhaps it is even the source of your anchor. If I learn of its origin, I may also learn what Corypheus now intends, as well as his weaknesses.
Do you know anything about his dragon?
It has the appearance of an archdemon. Of that, I am certain. A true archdemon, however, is supposedly the corrupted form of an old god. Has Corypheus actually dug up one of the ancient prisons? If so, why has a new blight not begun? His dragon is something else, something connected to his blighted
Yes,
nature as
so
well as his
the
magic.
prisons holding the blighted, the prisons holding the old elven gods. That is explicitly at the start of Veilguard, seemingly what Solus is trying to open. Is he's trying to open one of those old elven prisons that Morrigan is worried that Corypheus has dug one of them up. Solus seemingly is trying to do it to like open the prison, move the old elven gods to a new prison, and then shut it up. Like that's allegedly his plan, I think.
Is it even possible that Corypheus could succeed?
The last time Corypheus and his cohort stormed its doors, they unleashed the Blight upon the world. This time, perhaps he might indeed gain untold power. It is also possible he could unleash something far worse than the Blights. So yes, Corypheus could succeed in his goal. If not, his attempt alone could destroy the world.
Corypheus says I'm a rival. Does that mean...
Could you become a god? That depends. Are you prepared to use your anchor to enter the Black City?
I wouldn't know how, if that's even possible.
Perhaps Corypheus fears the moment when you learn.
I could use your company for my excursions outside Skyhold.
I have spent my share of time wandering the wilderness in the company of others, Inquisitor. Thank you for the invitation, but for now I will restrict my efforts to...
However you can help, it's appreciated.
Continue prodding at Corypheus, Inquisitor. Elicit a reaction, and we may yet...
Okay, yeah, cool. Right, I think that is the bulk of the important stuff we needed to be doing. Let's go check whether Josephine's got anything new to say. I'm suspecting not, because we've sorted getting her family back on track. And then to the war table to go and try and find that side quest.
Think of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
No one can say the evening wasn't memorable.
They've already begun composing songs about it in Val Royal, no doubt. The game's become increasingly insular in the past few years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. It's disturbing so few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
You'd think the game's greatest players would spot a murderer in their midst.
As I said, insularity. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
Playing the game was thrilling. We did just make history.
Indeed. Although I do wish Varric would show a bit more restraint in his accounts of the evening.
Cool, Josephine is good. Let's go find Liliana's quest. In a place beginning with V that I will know it when I see the name of it. I will remember where that place was. And then we'll go do Blackwall.
It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the
Okay, we'll do
Inquisition?
this first.
We're well loved in Orlais. Say the words and Empress Celine will send her support.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlay's support, our numbers match his. Corypheus's followers must be panicked.
That's good.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
Valence. Well, it being in the top right would require me to not ADHD and completely forget to look at the information on screen, you see?
Perhaps they'll rethink following the Darkspawn Magister from the dawn of time. Where is Corypheus now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have...
He's heading south, putting Liliana in power as the Divine. She tries to reform the south. Probably beneficial again that we go after Liliana.
They've terrorized Thedas long enough. We end them now. If Corypheus is hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we'll go.
Not yet.
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
I think this is right around when some of the DLCs start becoming available. Like, obviously Trespasser we can't do until, like, right at the fucking end of the game, but... there's, like, 2 other DLCs that I think start cropping up around now. The problem with having not played this in a while is trying to remember what stuff from my playthrough was DLC and what wasn't.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
It is best if I show you. This is an Illuvian.
Yeah.
An elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
Yeah.
It's beautiful in its way.
I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds. Untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere.
Is this Arbor Wilds Elven Temple?
Has turned southward.
Is that the place that Solus is doing the fucking knife ritual in that 20 minutes of Veilguard gameplay? Is that the Arbor Wilds? We get there via Illuvian Gate. It could be.
Where does it lead?
It was me being like, oh, I'll just quickly go in and set up the Liliana side quest. Nah, we got shit to do.
If this place once had a name, it has long been lost. I call it the crossroads.
Mm.
A place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
Yeah, so from what I can piece together from, like, little bits of stuff that have been shown at Veilguard, our new, like, Haven equivalent in Veilguard is this mystical lighthouse, which might be in the crossroads? This lighthouse that seemingly was previously Solus's might just be in the crossroads. Solus may have just had a little house in the crossroads just for whenever.
A useful trick.
For one who knows the way, certainly. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but...
Yeah, I can see how, like, you could maybe use this structurally in Veilguard to be like, if we're like, our base of operations is in the crossroads, maybe we are repairing Illuvian gates from this side, and that's how we sort of open up new places to go, is which places can we fix up the Illuvian gates to.
How did you find out about this place?
My travels have led me to many strange destinations, Inquisitor. Once, they led me here. It offered sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
Not all the mirrors lead back to our world. The ancients were nothing if not...
Yeah.
resourceful.
I can see how someone like Solus would find a way to use the crossroads to find a little sanctuary and set up, and that being... Like, it makes sense that being maybe where we were hanging out.
If they don't lead back to our world, then...
Places between, like this one.
Yeah.
I can describe it no better.
So yeah, maybe not
For a
literally in the crossroads,
from those who hunted me.
but
only
one
for a
of
time.
those places she's describing is
cannot
where
remain
our Haven equivalent will be next time.
forever.
What do you mean a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the Illuvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others are closed.
Opened how?
With a key.
I suppose you have such a key?
The key can be many things. Each Illuvian is different.
Yeah.
I have knowledge as well as power. Often not
Yeah,
enough.
you need a unique something to open Illuvians from the inside. Feels like such a setup for a gameplay mechanic for unlocking new areas, right?
Corypheus wants to come here.
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barrier.
It's not the Fade, but it's
And
very
enter the
close.
Fade in the flesh. Like
Yeah,
Corypheus wanted
it's-
to do with the anchor.
It's not the Fade, but it's very
Learned of the
close.
Illuvian
Solus fucking loves
Wilds
being in the
as I
Fade.
did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it.
Yeah, so Solus loves being in the Fade. If he can't be in the Fade, what's the next best thing? Being in the pseudo
You
Fade.
have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to
the
stop him. And
the connection is thin. You know, that you could chop your way into the Fade. You know, through the realities pretty easily here, as Solus wants to do. Let his elven gods out and sort of shuffle them around. It's all adding up. It's all coming together. It's all connecting. Okay, war room? No. Am I allowed to war room this time? Can I war room? I was heading to the war room. Let's return to the war room. Just double check. No, assumed not, but thought it was worth checking. Valence. Okay. I don't know if I've unlocked that place yet. Let's look at the timed quests that we've got cashed in and get some new ones on the go. Okay, which of these have little pluses above them to say we've completed them? None of the ones here. Are they all... Oh, yeah.
Darkspawn have been driven back on the Storm Coast.
Let us pray they do not return.
Okay. If these seem important. Oh, restore the port on the Storm Coast.
Inquisitor.
That seems important. We can celebrate the dragon slaying. Okay, Liliana is technically available, but let's look. Have we unlocked Valence yet as a place? That's... I'll check my map in a second, see if I have Valence. Okay, yeah, that's heading, like, toward post-game. Or end-game. I don't want to head there. Okay, let's look at the map. Do I have Valence? Yeah, and if not, what do I do to get Valence? What's that quest that we're currently on called? Left Hand of the Divine. I don't think I've got Valence. Do I have Valence? Or is it... Oh, it's on the map because the quest was available. I don't have to do a thing to unlock it. Okay. Oh yeah, you're missing, aren't you, Blackwall? Oh! Iron Bull's no longer really depressed in the character art. He's doing a little BDSM dragon tooth kiss. That's cute. That's cute. That's sweet. That's nice. Look at him tying her hands up to do a kiss, but with the dragon tooth that we both did a murder for. Okay, we'll do this and then we'll do Blackwall.
It's just as I remember it.
You didn't tell me you'd been here before.
After the Blight ended, I came here to see Justinia. She was just Dorothea then, a revered mother. I needed her wisdom after the hero of Ferelden died.
So where's this hidden treasure?
Straight to business. It's why I like you, Inquisitor.
Liliana, is that you?
Sister Natalie, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Val Rayo.
No, I've been here since Justinia died. This place makes me feel like she's still with us.
Inquisitor, this is Natalie, a trusted friend.
Wait, Inquisitor? You brought the Inquisitor here? My lady, forgive me for not recognizing you earlier.
Ah, the Herald of Andraste, I see.
I wish more people would fail to recognize me.
Oh, I see.
Natalie, listen. There is something hidden here.
Don't tell Natalie. She'll go fucking
really?
grab it.
What is it?
Don't fucking tell anyone.
I don't know, but we'll find it. I'm curious to see what brought us all here.
Just say I'm here on a mission from Divine
Justinia's
Justinia.
letter came with instructions for me. They
Above
were a little
all,
cryptic.
that strength
Always
lives in
remember
an
that
open
faith sprung from a barren branch. That light has no fear of darkness. Above all, that strength lives in an open heart.
She must be hinting at something in here. Let's look around.
Do they still sing verses from the benedictions every Friday? That canticle was Justinia's favorite.
Barren branch. Open heart. Oh, I remember having a real... Oh, these are the fucking mosaics.
Have you seen it?
When the sun rises through it, it splits into what looks like 1,000 suns.
You know what? Screw it.
Like a broken mirror.
Yes. Spectacular, isn't it? You must be careful, Natalie. Justinia's enemies are making their move, vying for position and the Sunburst throne.
It's the fucking paintings and shit on the walls, isn't it? Okay, let's have a look. That would be the painting of the death. That's the open heart. Okay, yeah, I forgot we could just fucking echolocate them.
Justinia always said that compassion was my greatest strength. Doubt is easy. It takes courage to trust.
Baron, is that the Baron branch? Yeah, light has no fear of darkness.
Light began. There was a lot of fear back then. No one knew what was going to happen.
Light has no fear of darkness? Oh, just fire.
What was that? Looks like we opened something.
Aha. There's not a particularly hidden chamber, if I'm honest. Just three little, like, whoop, little dials.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Good old Liliana was playing you the whole time. Didn't you realize?
They never sing the benedictions here on Fridays, Natalie. Something so simple. And you got it so wrong. I wanted to believe, but you were lying from the start. Keep that pretty mouth shut if you must, dear. You've already told me everything I need to know. The prickleweed burrs on your hem, talking about the sun rising through the breach. It all points to a single place. Morel in the Dales, Grand Cleric Victoire's bastion. She sent you, didn't she? Victoire was always an opportunist.
Well, yeah, but I think even without a magic find the thing radar, like, the one near the statue near the fire is the most obvious one. Because it's like, there's one lever coming out the wall of the statue and one that's at a different length and you pull it out. It's like, anyone with, like, an obsessive need to tidy and organize and make things line up would have found 1/3 of the fucking secret entrance.
Who is this Grand Cleric? I've never heard of her.
An experienced cleric. She never agreed with Justinia, but kept her ideas to herself. I suppose now, with Justinia dead, she thought she could make her move.
I want to know what this Grand Cleric planned here.
She sent Natalie here to see what Justinia was hiding, no?
The Inquisition has turned Thedas away from the true Chantry. It must be stopped.
Stop us? You must be joking.
Mother Victoire is well loved by many. The Inquisition has more enemies than you know.
And Victoire thinks she can ally with them.
If we let her go, she'll just run off to her cleric, won't she?
Likely. Kill me then. I am not afraid to die for my beliefs. At least I still know what I believe.
Oh, what do you reckon, chat? Kill her or let her go? What do you reckon? I'll leave this in your hands, chat. What do we do? My gut says tell her to let her go. But I'm open to being convinced otherwise. We'll see. Spare her unless you want evil Liliana. I don't want evil Liliana, but evil Liliana can be fun. Have you primed her for being softened? Tried. Let's try.
We have to kill her.
Let's try.
I must protect the Inquisition. She is an enemy.
I see what you've become.
I didn't soften her up well enough, did I?
And the Maker shall guide them.
Well, I guess we're getting evil Liliana. I tried to soften her up. Well. Now, chat, do we course correct and make... In that case, do we course correct and make Cassandra Inquisitor, or do we stick to our guns with evil Liliana as divine?
Check again. Perhaps the boss
Oopsie.
itself is a puzzle.
That's what I get for winging it.
Puzzling sort.
No, it's
Not
just,
Vivian
it's
as
just
divine,
empty
no.
box. There's a message carved in the lid. The left hand should lay down her burden. She's releasing me. The divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out. 1,000 lies, 1,000 deaths. Her commands, but my conscience that bore the consequences.
Sorry I failed you. It's what she said in the Fade. Kvelstrom says evil Liliana is a better divine than good Liliana, or at least she's able to suppress stuff better. Yeah, but I don't want an evil religious leader particularly. But like, look, part of me thinks as long as she's still gonna like fight for the liberation of the oppressed, how evil could she be?
She apologized in the Fade. She said she failed you. This is what
Hopefully
she
this reassures you it was her in the Fade.
Justinia carried the fear that she was using me, just like I'd been used in the past. But Marjolaine's
Yeah, her politics are unchanged. Her politics are unchanged. She's evil, but like, not like politically evil.
Me. No one else could have done what I did. She knows that.
Then you have to let it go. Let her go. You don't owe her anything anymore.
This? Now? After everything you've said and done? And my poor dear Natalie. I called her sister once, but I couldn't risk leaving her alive. Don't tell me to let it all go after all I've sacrificed to get here.
Yeah. We fucked up. We fucked
Justinia
up.
tried to save me.
I still think she's
But
the
all
right
it's
political
done
choice,
has made
but...
me realize I don't need saving. There is work to be done. I'll see you back at
Yeah, I should have known when she was so rejecting of Justinia's message when we first brought it to her. It's like, yeah, no, we fucked up. We fucked up. Well, Well, that's the thing, Tara. I fundamentally think that a large amount of change is important for the Chantry, but I don't know whether I agree that a lot of religious murder and political murder is necessarily ideal along the road to I would like people to be less oppressed. You know how it is.
Grand Cleric Victoire is scrambling after the loss of her agent.
Good. Her support base is in Morale. Tear it down.
Well,
Grand Cleric Victoire wishes to make an enemy of the Inquisition. I'll give her what she wants. Doesn't Victoire have a young cousin? Lord Firmin? She dotes on him.
Yes, mistress.
She's gone real Shadow the Hedgehog real fast.
Have him collected. He shall be an honored guest, and make sure
I
he comes
usually,
where he is
like,
about
make
it.
the effort to make sure that, like, she's chill. I don't often see this side of her, if I'm honest.
You're dealing with the Grand Cleric a little harshly, don't you think?
Harsh times call for harsh measures, Inquisitor. You see, when I'm ruthless, it gets us where we need to be. It's something to be proud of. Why fix it? How funny that her regret is what finally puts my own to rest. I chose to become her left hand, knowing what it meant. It was my weakness that stopped me from fully committing to my task.
You have a good heart. It's not a weakness.
You're too kind, Inquisitor. Call it what it is. The Inquisition needs me just as the Divine did, to do what no one else dares.
No, we
Death
need...
and deception are my trade.
We need you to do
It is
what's
what I am.
right.
It is what I always will be.
Yeah, it's too late for us to turn her off this path into it.
At your service, my lady.
Well...
I'll leave you to...
Inquisitor?
Okay, we don't have an option to, like, tell her, I'll push for you to be the Divine. So we've got that option for Cassandra, but we don't have it for Liliana. I thought we would get it here, but apparently not. Okay. Oh, we're doing great for time. Let's go try and find Blackwall. Oh, you know what it's time for? Kveldstrom says, I lost 12 hours of my current playthrough reloading back to Haven so I could soften her, so I very much feel your pain. Yeah, I ain't doing that on this one because we've got progress to make. I've got other games to stream. We're living with it. But yes, you know what it's time for, because I haven't done it today. It's time for Laura learn some German. Because I forgot to learn some German today, so we're going to learn some German. Deutsche! You are very tall. Du bist sehr groß. My mother is very tall. Meine, M-I-E-N-E, meine Mutter ist sehr groß. I spelled meine incorrectly. M-E-I-N-E. I can never remember the I and the E in meine. The order. The BT, don't tell me until I've done it. I gotta learn it myself. You don't put the spelling in there. I gotta learn my spellings.
Du bist sehr groß.
Du bist sehr groß. You are very tall. I know that. Ah, you playing along with me? That's fair. I just won't look at chat, I suppose. A father and a mother.
Eine.
No, it's ein.
Eine.
Ein Vater.
Vater.
Und
Und.
eine Mutter.
Mutter. Mein Vater und mein Bruder.
My father and my brother. Ich bin groß. Yeah, O, and then the S looks like a B, because it's double S.
Mein Vater ist groß.
Groß. Mein Vater ist groß. My father is tall. My father is tall.
Ich bin sehr nett.
Ich bin sehr nett. S-E-H-R, sehr nett. I am very nice.
Du bist mein Vater.
Du bist mein Father. You are my father. You are my father.
Meine Mutter ist sehr groß.
Meine Mutter ist sehr groß. Sehr groß. Yes, my mother is very tall.
Groß.
Ich bin groß. Yeah, O. The S that looks like a B. The double S that looks like a B. Meine Mutter. M-E-I-N-E. Meine Mutter ist sehr groß. Yeah, look at me largely spelling things correctly when talking about fictional relatives. Now, go away, advertisements. Ah, so many pop-ups. No, go away. I just want to do my German. There we go. I did a few minutes of German. We Germaned. Okay. Do we know where Blackwall is? Journal. Oh, is it Valroyo for... Okay, I guess we go to Valroyo. Ah, yeah, there we go. Blackwall. Okay, yes, we gotta go to Mornay's execution. Right. Look at us. We're gonna crack through all these side quests today. We're gonna get at least this one done, if not another. We're gonna do everyone's little personal quests. Whether we do them well or badly, we'll see, but we'll do them. They'll all get done.
The mages are back.
Yep, here we go.
Cyril Mornay, for your crimes against the Empire of Orlais. For the murders of General Vincent Callier, Lady Laurette Callier, their 4 children, and their retainers. You are sentenced to be hanged from the neck until dead. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Very well.
Oh, this is grim.
Proceed.
Stop!
A Grey Warden.
This man is innocent of the crimes laid before him. Orders were given, and he followed them like any good soldier. He should not die for that mistake.
Then find me the man who gave the order.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Blackwall!
No, I am not Blackwall. I never was Blackwall. Warden Blackwall is dead, and has been for years. I assumed his name to hide like a coward from who I really am.
Yeah, here we go.
You, after all this time.
It's over. I'm done hiding.
Ah.
I gave the order. The crime is mine. I am Tom Rainier.
Yep, here we go. Here we go. Well, that's somewhat complicated our, you know, oh, but shit, go get him back, it'll be nothing. Be fine. How bad could it be? How bad could it be? Bad, it could be bad. Oh, right. Hello, sir. How's prison treating you?
I didn't take Blackwall's life. I traded his death. He wanted me for the Wardens, but there was an ambush. Darkspawn. He was killed. I took his name to stop the world from losing a good man. But a good man, the man he was, wouldn't have let another die in his place.
And you didn't. Oopsie, he did a little murder of a man and his wife and their children and their stuff, but he hasn't made an oopsie. I mean, he fucking did what he was told. He was a soldier.
You think your death will make up for what you did?
Isn't it a start?
I'm in Tanzarian, yeah.
Why are you here?
No, yeah, that's what I mean. I know he made the order. I'm saying, like, the man who did the murders did so because he was ordered. I was talking about the man who was in the gallows, because I thought that's who you were talking about. You said, oopsie, he did the little murder of a man and wife and his children. I thought you were talking about the man in the gallows. So I was like, yeah, he did so because he was ordered. And then you were like, no, he gave the order. I'm like, no, that was Blackwall. I see. I think we're on the same page now.
I needed you to know you aren't alone in this.
Don't you understand? I gave the order to General Callier, his entourage, and I lied to my men about what they were doing. When it came to light, I ran. Those men, my men, paid for my treason while I was pretending to be a better man.
You weren't pretending to be a better man. You were trying to be a better man. You saw an opportunity to get a fresh start. You tried to be a better man.
A murderer, a traitor.
Oh.
A monster.
You're a good lad. You're a good boy.
I know you're more than what you say. Have some faith in yourself.
Yes.
I need to know the details of what you did, who you killed, why.
I betrayed the Empire and assassinated a general, all for gold. The man was General Vincent Callier. My employer was a Chevalier, Robert Chapuis. Sir Robert believed that Grand Duke Gaspard was the rightful ruler of Orlais and would avenge eventually take the throne.
Oh, Gaspard. We
He
know
thought
about
that by
Gaspard.
eliminating one of Celine's loyal supporters, he might endear himself to the true Emperor. I can't say if Robert's plan would have worked. I didn't care. There was good coin offered. By the time Sir Robert's involvement was uncovered, I was long gone. Of course, the Grand Duke disavowed any knowledge of the act. Robert killed himself. Poison in his wine. Another victim of the great game.
You got your men to help you. What did you tell them?
They didn't know who they were attacking. I told them it was an important mission. They trusted me without question. Just as your men trust you.
Armies are weapons. Weapons don't wield themselves.
Weapons don't have lives, families, dreams. An army is not just a weapon.
My reports say that Collier was with his family. You had them all slaughtered?
I didn't know Callier would be traveling with his family. I assumed only soldiers, armed guards. My men have been told to eliminate everyone. They'd seen war. But no one likes to think about that. No matter how leaders like Celine or Gaspard pretend the game is played, that's how real war is waged.
That shouldn't be how wars are fought.
War is unfair, but you're right. There was no need for what I...
There's another thing I'm still wondering.
Yes?
The man on the gallows, Mornay. Who is he?
My second in command. He was a good man. When I heard he'd been caught, I was resolved to stop his execution. Couldn't let another die for my mistake.
I need to know about Blackwall. The real Blackwall.
We met in a tavern when I was on the run. I was nothing. A waste of life. But he wanted to recruit me. We headed to Valchavan for the joining. The Blackwall insisted on making a stop along the way. An old ruin from one of the previous blights. He said it led to the deep roads. When I returned, I found the warden ambushed by more of the creatures. He took a blow for me. He shouldn't have died. It should have been...
It was a heroic act.
I wasn't worthy. He would have wanted me to carry on to Valchavan, I'm certain. But without Blackwall, there's no proof that I've been recruited. That I didn't kill him. I couldn't go to the wardens. But I couldn't just walk
Kveldstrom,
away.
continue. Feel free to waffle on. I might not read every message out loud in chat, but like I am certainly not opposed to you sharing thoughts in chat. It's no worry at all.
Who were you before this mess?
I was a captain in the Orlesian army. One mistake. One mistake.
Okay. Okay, we gotta go discuss this. We gotta go talk this through.
I have
Sorry,
Liliana's report.
I'll talk about my thoughts on Blackwall in a second. I don't deny that what he did was pretty fucking terrible, and that it's clear that, like, at least a degree, at least early on, of his decision to do what he did in terms of taking that identity was cowardice and self-preservation. And, you know, I can acknowledge that, while also going... It's very clear that he has tried to be a different man to who he was. Like, that conversation about the dog is, like, it really is one of those... He is still beating himself up for a reaction he had as a child to his first experience of death. Like, he's clearly got some shit he's trying to work through. And I respect the hell out of the act of, I'm not going to let someone die for my name, I will step forward rather than let that... Because, like, if he just let that man die at the gallows, no one would have fucking known. He did a fucking effective job of concealing his identity and taking on a new persona. It's not like he had to come forward because he'd have been caught out sooner or later. It was, no, he had a pretty fucking perfect disguise, but his conscience wouldn't let someone die on behalf of him for his sins that he knows were wrong. I'm like, that is the sign of someone who, like, at the very least, I can look at Blackwall and go, you don't fit the profile of a repeat offender. You're not good. It's like, if we let you go free, you're not going to go order some more people to go do a murder of a family, including their children, right? And I'm not saying he's not guilty of a lot of fucking harm, or that, like, he should instantly be able to be forgiven for what he did, but also, these are not the actions of a person who is going to, with malice, be a threat to anyone else, or that is someone that isn't willing to do whatever possible to make sure that no one but him pays for the crimes he did. The BT says, and that's why you shouldn't be executed, that's why prison's the appropriate punishment. Now, see, this is where you start getting me onto prison abolition, and the idea of, like, non-violent, not likely to reoffenders. Is prison actually doing anything for, other than spending a lot of money to have them just not be in society, not able to contribute, not able to do anything with their life, versus prison as rehabilitation, prison as having, like, is prison to be punitive, or is it to prevent future crime? Like, we could get into a lot of, like, very philosophical questions about if prisons should exist, and if so, who they should be locking up, who should be locked up in them. And, you know, as much as I would say there are people who are like, you did a bad thing and you would do a bad thing again, and you show no remorse for doing a bad thing, yeah, maybe that is a necessity in a society, but also, you know, is removing you from society for X number of years and then releasing you back into society completely devoid from decades of change in the world and expecting you to somehow readjust to the outside, is that likely to just make you reoffend if you otherwise wouldn't have done? Like, we look at people who come out of prison after, like, 30 years for a non-violent offense, who are like, I don't fucking know how to use a computer or a touchscreen device, and I have no ability to get a job because I have a conviction on record, so no one will hire me. I am fucking overwhelmed and don't know how to exist outside of prison. I will do a crime just to end up back in prison because I understand how to live in prison, because after 30 years I don't know how to be on the outside anymore. Is that a person, you know, if they've done a non-violent offense, who might have been better, like, would it have been a better net positive to society to not put them in a loop that's gonna just cause them to reoffend where they otherwise wouldn't have done? But again, this is me, like, waxing philosophical about the prison system generally. And then we get into, like, this is not, like, Thedas, this is not Dragon Age specific, but we then get into, like, the morality of, is the reason that a lot of non-violent offenders are given the lengthy sentences they're given, and, you know, expected to be serving time, in a lot of parts of the world, let's look at America, in the United States, a big part of why so many non-violent offenders are given prison time is to basically turn them into unpaid slave labor, because slavery was abolished, with exceptions for incarcerated people. Like, you can look at the fucking presidential nominee for the Democrats right now, Kamala Harris, who has explicitly talked about the fact that she would not seek to reduce prison crowding or reduce the number of people imprisoned or let people out who've done non-violent offences to lessen the burden on the prison system, because she has explicitly said, if we did that, the fire service would not be able to function because it requires prison labour to be able to afford to function in its current state. Because, yeah, like, right now, like, in lots of places, like the United States, like, prison for non-violent offences is, we want cheap-ass labour for essentially slavery. But again, this is me getting on a fucking tangent about, should non-violent offences be treated with prison sentences of the length they are treated with? And yeah, again, I know I'm talking about non-violent offences, and I'm not saying that Blackwall is not a non-violent offender. He He led to actions that led to some people getting killed. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying definitively he shouldn't be in prison. What I'm saying is, I think that, like, the idea of the only options are execution or prison is a very black and white way to look at it. I think that there's lots of things you can do with, like, forced community service. There are things you can do with reparation work where your punishment is explicitly designed to undo some of the harm that you did. You know, and part of me is like, conversations about punishment for crime would maybe be better served by being more flexible conversations with those harmed by crime as to what would be an appropriate punishment, as opposed to necessarily going the strongest punishment that could be applied should be applied. But again, this is me just, you've gotten me on a track of, like, what is the purpose of prison? What is the purpose of the punishment you're trying to achieve? And is having a person just sit in a box achieving whatever your particular punishment for crime aims are? Anyway, I'm going to keep the game going.
Looks like our friend was once a respected captain in the Imperial Orlesian army. Before the Civil War, he was turned, persuaded to assassinate one of Celine's biggest supporters. He led a group of fiercely loyal men on this mission, and told them nothing of it. His men took the fall for him. A few lucky ones, like Mornay, managed to escape.
This is helpful. Or at least educational.
Don't blame yourself. We all made this mistake. What do we do now?
Yeah.
Rainier has accepted his fate, but you don't have to. We have resources. If he's released to us, you may pass judgment on him yourself.
The BT says, I think it's an interesting discussion. Game-wise, I want to keep him in my party, but I recognize my bias in the situation. You're not wrong. And, like, I recognize that there is also, selfishly, a degree of, we are trying to do something pretty fucking huge, and we really can't afford to be losing key resources. Which definitely does lead me to bias a little towards, you are not likely to violently reoffend. Can we find an alternative? But again, I think it's impossible to detach that from my knowledge of him as a companion. And we will talk about this more when, like, the options of how to judge.
If it were up to
we'll
you,
get here
what
in a
would happen?
second.
What he did to the men under his command was unacceptable. He betrayed their trust, betrayed ours. I despise him for it. And yet he fought as a warden, joined the Inquisition, gave his blood for our cause. And the moment he shakes off his past, he turns around and owns up to it. Why?
He wanted to change. To prove that he'd really left his past behind, he had to face up to it.
Okay,
Saving
yeah.
Mornay the way he did took courage. I'll give him that.
I think this is
But
the
I can't
core.
tell
Okay,
you
I
what
think
to
I think I've come to this. I think the reason I find it really hard to just go, the punishment should be prison time, and I know there's no good way to quantify this, but part of me thinks a person who has managed to successfully evade punishment for fucking years for a crime, as, like, no one even fucking suspects him, like, no world was he ever gonna get caught, owns up to crime, knowing the potential consequences in order to save someone else from taking the fall from him. There is a certain part of me that goes, in a similar way to the way that if you plead guilty to a crime, and I don't think this should be the case, but in the United States, if you plead guilty to a crime, your sentence will be lower than if you plead innocent and are found guilty. It's unfortunately why a lot of people who are innocent are advised to plead guilty, because at least that way they know that they'll have a lesser sentence than if they pled innocent and were found guilty. It's a fucking con of a system. But part of me looks at that idea of admitting guilt, particularly in a case where it's obvious they had no evidence to get you and still you came forward. Like, not even in, like, that pleading guilty or innocent system, but I suppose something like, let's say a person, like, walks forward to the police and goes, like, hey, 30 years ago I did a crime and no one ever caught me and no one has suspected me, but I want to come forward and fucking, like, admit to what I have done. Part of me would go, in the same way that, like, parole boards in prisons can take into account, like, you know, the appearance of change of behavior while in prison, a degree of, if you own up to a crime that you did not have to own up to, purely to your own detriment, should that lessen, to some degree, the punishment you receive? And I'm not saying that would mean Blackwall should have no prison time, necessarily. I mean, I personally have my thoughts about prison abolition, but like in this world where prison is a thing, I'm not necessarily arguing that he should have no prison time, but also, would you argue he should have somewhat of a lesser sentence than if he had been tracked down and caught and found out and, like, his, you know, his whole system had fallen apart, versus, like, no one had any clue and I came forward anyway.
Have Rainier released to us.
We must move quickly. We can explore our options back at Sky.
I'm only saying release him to us because, yeah, because I think us making the judgment on ultimately what his punishment should be, I think is a more interesting space for us to have interesting conversations about this. My hair is, like, really getting in my eyes today while I stream. I'm just pushing it back a bit.
And when it all cleared, she was...
Okay, so now we need to go to... the war table we gotta go to? Order the advisors. Is this go to the war table? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we gotta go to the war table, don't we? It's the advisors there. Veldstrom, very interesting points about parallels you're bringing up. Genuinely very interesting comment. Yes, war table. Okay. Go, 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 go! Okay.
I have requests for information on your lineage from a few interested parties at the Winter Palace.
Andraste, preserve me. Feel free to use those requests as kindling.
No, I shall take them. I want to know who pines for our commander. We can use this to our advantage.
Veldstrom, I kind of agree with you. I'm very biased toward Cole.
Just look pretty.
I'm very pro Cole of that vision.
All right.
Oh, obtain amulet for Cole.
Let us begin.
Forgot we had that we needed to do. They need to highlight the ones that are, like, side quest important character important. Yes, Mass Effect 2 did a really good job of painting those direct conflicts, indeed. Made them very clear. It's gonna be like 3 minutes before Raider is released from prison. Like, what even, like, is there to do for 3 minutes?
I was hoping you'd be by. We've received letters from Archon Redanus of Tevinter and King Marcus of Nevada. For both monarchs to come to us is nearly unheard of.
We might talk to Sarah. We might. I'll say this. At least a portion of my not having talked to Sarah much this playthrough is, my lovely Phoenix not being a fan of Sarah. I'm like, well, Phoenix tunes into any of these streams. I don't want to accidentally be talking to Sarah at the time. At least a little bit.
Then the Inquisition's deeds have won their respect.
They'd never have contacted us otherwise. Archon Redanus requests that the Inquisition, as a neutral party, destroy a Venatori cult on the Nevarin-Tevinter border. King Marcus asks the same.
Don't
but
worry,
demands
we'll
we
get
pledge
to Sarah,
allegiance
we'll get
Nevada
there.
instead of Tevinter.
What course of action would you take?
Strained as their relationship with Orlais is, I would assist the Imperium. Their friendship is difficult to win, and Marcus is a fading power. Tevinter is the longer, richer gain.
Tell the Archon the Inquisition will do Tevinter the favor of wiping out the Venatori on its borders.
Very good, Inquisitor.
Yeah, you feel free to fight Phoenix if you like. I ain't doing so. I would not win. Right, run around. Let's go. Barrack. How do?
I can spare some time. What
Nope.
do you need?
You got nothing. Where are we at with
Tell me the
this?
truth.
Yeah, you don't think it. No, that's fine.
I guess I do. Either you're guided by the hand of some higher power, or you have the...
Oh, I really thought he was going to say no.
I wouldn't have pegged you as an Andrastian.
It's a great story. It's got heroism, love, betrayal, and random musical numbers. I don't have a nug in this race. It could be bullshit, it could be true. But I like the idea that maybe you could save the world with a song.
Why are those my only options?
Look at all the shit that's happened to you. You were saved from the explosion that leveled a mountaintop and fell out of the Fade. You traveled through time, faced down one of the ancient magisters who started the Blights, had a mountain fall on you, and lived. Single-handedly saved the Orlesian Empire. Stopped an army of demons. One of those things would be impossible. All of them together? That's a miracle.
I'm starting to see your point.
Just try to warn me before falling into the Fade again, would you?
Let's run back. One of our quests at the war table finished, and I think it's the one we were waiting on. We done? We done doing our prison release? Okay, he's out.
Any clues to his next move?
Some, but not enough for us to go on just yet.
Okay. Okay. I think that means Blackwall's out. Do we have to go to the throne to judge him? Yeah, judge him at the throne. Well, now the question will be, what do we do with him? I can't keep waffling vague philosophy thoughts. I have to actually decide how we commit to this.
For judgment this day, Inquisitor, I must present Captain Tom Rainier, formerly known to us as Warden Blackwall. His crimes... well, you are aware of his crimes. The decision of what to do with him is yours.
I
didn't think this would be easy, but it's harder than I thought.
Another thing to regret. Using your ties to the underworld to free me. You're a criminal, same as me. The world will learn how you've used your influence. They'll know the Inquisition is corrupt.
Yeah, you're not making me not want to throw you in prison. Like, you're not helping. You're not making this easier, sir. The BT says, well, that doesn't show remorse. I disagree. I don't think it takes away from the remorse that he's like, no. Because, like, the way I view this is he's like, I should be in prison. You got me out. You shouldn't have done that. That is a bad thing to have done. Like, if anything, it shows he is committed to, I should be rotting in a jail cell over this. He doesn't want you to save him. He doesn't think he deserves redemption, despite clearly being a different person to who he once was. Moonlight Moth, thank you very much for the Prime sub.
Your opinions will no longer be considered. You've lost that privilege. I decide what becomes of you now.
And what becomes of me?
Ah. So there is no prison option here. You can't get him out of prison and then go actually back to prison. You keep him in servitude. Give him to the wardens once this is over. You're free if you atone. Giving him to the wardens once this is over is very much, you pretended to be a warden, you go be a fucking warden after this. You commit to living the life that you presided to be, which giving it to the wardens is, it's not a death sentence, but it's in the same way that when you make someone do firefighting as prison labor, the rates of people who end up dying doing that sure aren't zero. I don't want to be like, I own you, your life continues. That's not my Inquisitor. You're free if you atone. Like, I want to say it. I don't think he'd accept it, is the thing. I don't think he would accept you're free if you atone. I think he would just go hand himself straight back into prison. I think you need to give... I think he has made it clear in this conversation, you need to give him some kind of punishment so he feels like he's been punished, or he will just fucking walk back to that prison. And, or go tell everyone, like, what you did. He wants to be punished. And I don't know if you agree, chat, but I feel like you took the identity of a warden and pretended to be a warden and took the accolades that come with the life of the warden you took, you replaced. When we're done with this, you go let the wardens decide what to make of the fake warden. Kveldstrom says, I usually let him off, but narratively Grey Warden is a much stronger choice. I want to just let him off. My heart says to let him off. And look, the choices I make while on stream are probably different to the ones I would make if I wasn't on stream. You know, there's people judging my choices, and I'm like, I gotta make the narratively interesting choices. I gotta make the choices that make most narrative sense and not just the ones that I kind of want to do. As if I could do. I don't think chat would be that mad if I did, but... I mean, look. I've committed to, we're doing this playthrough, not my personal choices. We're doing the choices I think would be most satisfying to... If this were a linear, fixed narrative rather than choose your own adventure, which of these would be the most satisfying answer? I think it is this one.
Blackwall intended you join the Wardens. I will let them decide your fate. But only when Corypheus is dead. For now, Tom Rainier, the Inquisition needs you.
As you command.
Blackwall gave you the chance to atone through action, not merely punishment. I find I can do no less.
I am grateful for this, Inquisitor. And I will serve for as long as I can.
Blackwall wanted you to atone and to join the Wardens. I will grant you the same. Atone and join the Wardens. Yeah, it's not usually the choice I make, and I'm very curious how he's going to respond to it, but I think it's the one that sits best with me in this moment. But game still calls him Blackwall.
Inquisitor?
How shall I refer to you? Rainier or Blackwall?
I've gotten used to Blackwall. Perhaps we could treat it as less of a name and more of a title. Almost like Inquisitor. Reminds me of what
Now, I can tell you why this exists. You know, I don't have inside information, but I've seen enough in development, early builds of games, and enough at the development side to tell you exactly why this line of dialogue exists. Because they don't know exactly when you're going to do this mission, and what other people's scenes will refer to Blackwall that will happen before or after this scene. And they don't want to have to re-record every fucking line of dialogue to refer to him as Raynor, just in case you do those lines of dialogue after doing this.
Everyone needs something to aspire to.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
Okay. Does anyone have any new quests for us? Have a good night, Artist Synth. Yes, it's the Armand Tanzarin's got to go back to being called Principal Skinner conundrum. Exactly.
Was there something you needed?
Nope. Not unless you've got new dialogue for me. You know what? You know what? For UBT, we're going to go talk to Sarah. Where are you, Sarah? That's a question. I haven't seen you in a while. Where are you at? Let's highlight you. You're on the 2nd floor? I think you're on the 2nd floor. We're doing it. Just, shh. All secrets. Don't tell Fee. It's fine.
Our heroes strode the winding road.
I saw him just walking free.
That was a decision, and it was well considered.
Well, this is why. You're in this fucking room tucked away. You're tucked away in this little room, and that's why I never fucking see you.
One for the Empress. For Gaspar. Brianna.
Oh, this has been a while, huh?
Duchess. And Corinthus. Right in the dangle bag.
Oh, you.
Alright, you're clearly annoyed. What can I do?
The BT, you're gonna have a big fucking uphill climb with Vivian.
It's the dead that's nagging at me. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right? So long as there's a book for the throne. A pretty one, sure. But how many lives are worth one empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
One sec. Hey, Dusty Candles.
I don't know. You want to stop a party? I think you go earwigs.
I hate those things. with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an empress. That, and Briala being an idiot, the whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
There was a lot more going on than a lover's spat.
Oh, sure.
There was.
Because of the hole in the sky, pfft, plenty of idiots around before, and there'll be plenty of idiots around after. Better save some arrows, yeah?
Is that it? That your whole contribution, is it, Sarah?
I hear Vachelle was good pay for you, Inquisitor. Time to go see if my friends came through too. Got a location for a stash. Just let me know when you're ready to head out. Be sure to bring your empty pockets. Your choice. Still waiting to go get that reward for marching through Vachelle. Got something against free money?
Okay, fine.
I'm ready if you are.
We'll do the Sarah quest. We're doing the Sarah quest, BT. Here you go. I'm doing it. Is this what you want, BT? Is this what you want?
Wait, this is weird.
What?
I was expecting a village or something. The people that leave me stuff don't trek out to places like this. Give me a city and I'll give you a tour, but surprise, surprise, I don't know stupid woods or ruins. What's that?
Don't hurt me. Harmond made me do it.
Quiet yourself. We're here to help.
Help? Had enough help. I complain about a fight and suddenly I'm an agent or something.
You were the one with the rumor out of Vachelle. My friend.
You're her. You're the one he's waiting for. It's her. She's here. Red Jenny.
Oopsie. Okay, I'm gonna turn the volume down because this game has no chill about combat volume. What level are you? Oh, level 11. You're gonna be nothing.
And not just prey.
Oh, hold on. I was not aware the Inquisitor was personally involved. This is a tragic misunderstanding. Let's all sheath our swords, you walk out, and we'll conduct this like business.
Don't believe this pissbag. He started it.
There. That wasn't so hard, was it? We identified the confusion, and we worked past it. I'm Lord Pelharmond. I do hope, Inquisitor, that you continue to respond to reason. After all, your choice of company is hardly virtuous.
Freaking user, you are. Another noble prick who punches down.
We're the same, you and I. Well, that is overstating it. You are nothing like me, but we both need...
Oh, this man is the worst.
You want to talk now, but Sarah is my ally. You attacked her friends.
Come now. You know how much her meddling cost me? Because apparently you were complicit. Honestly, previous to this very moment, I thought you'd also been tricked by these Red Jennies. Despite your foreign nature, as Inquisitor, you are a social peer. I attacked them on behalf of us both.
You're one of them foreigns, but because you're an important foreign, you're one of... You're socially equal to me.
I don't want to be your enemy. I'm barely invested in being hers. If you are willing to recognize an opportunity...
Inquisitor, you are of much higher social rank than me, but also you're a foreign, and that makes you of lower rank than me, so it sort of evens out to you being on my level, I think.
A partnership gets me your enemies. I need the territory.
What are you doing? He's half the mess in Vachelle.
And now his job is recruiting the other. Consider your lands and title requisitioned. You opened the bargaining. Think of your immediate options.
Surprising. Disappointing, but also welcome over the alternative.
Won't be hearing from you again.
Be sure to return the favor.
Indeed. You got any post-quest banter for me, Sarah, or is that... Oh, yeah.
There's you. How was that Harmond mess, hey? I should be angry you let him live. But his kind really hate a leash. I mean, he deserved worse for turning it all bad. But we made out just fine. Good one, you.
This was very nearly a disaster. Never again.
Well, sure, you deal with shite like...
I don't want to hear it. I'm leading too many people to put up with this.
You are bloody lucky you're still on my good side. Because I'd... something.
Yes. How dare I go... You pulled me into a really fucking messy situation that was not at all what you told me we were being pulled into. Fucking... sort your shit out. And your response was not like, yeah, I fucked up. Okay, I admit that. It's like...
I need all the help I can get. But consider this a warning.
Well, understood. Hop to and all that. If you need me, I'll be waiting for some barking ass to give me orders. It's so hard to get. Stupid. Everyone.
I really should just fucking kick you out. I really should. I really should. Like, you admittedly really fucked up, Sarah, and your response is to be like, oh, well, fuck you. It's like,
Oh, gracious lady bit.
Like, the critique I gave Sarah was so fucking light, given the context. It was... Look, I'm happy to help you with shit, but you've got to, like, make sure you know what's going on before you pull me into it. Like, you've got your shit sorted. Like, it's Sarah that escalates it to being, do I have to fucking kick you out of here level threat. Like, it didn't need to be that, and Sarah's just like, oh, what if I just fucking, be fucking offended that you would so much as suggest that I need to apologize for fucking up. The BT, here's the thing. I want to like Sarah. I like Sarah in the opening conversations. I think Sarah's an interesting character. But Sarah is just not a good fit with me. I don't know how to interact with Sarah without it becoming a conflict. I don't know what it is about Sarah. I just can't seem to navigate conversations with Sarah that don't end up going really iffy.
She's still behind the curtains in the reading room, watching the blood pool on the floor.
Okay. Let's go see what Vivian has. Kveldstrom, I don't disagree with that being at least part of the problem with Andromeda. Like, the problem with Andromeda was they were too interested in revisiting stuff they'd already visited in the previous Mass Effects, not their own new conflicts unique to Andromeda, and that kind of goes hand in hand with your suggestion. Anyway, we're doing Vivian.
My dear, I'm afraid I must ask you for help.
Okay, what do you want?
There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
Yes, the BT says Sarah does stuff without thinking, which is what I do, and you just deal with the consequences. I don't know if you listen to Dice Funk. I fucking love in Dice Funk, the D&D podcast, actual play podcast I'm on. I love playing characters who do stuff without thinking, like, does not stop to engage brain. Consequences will happen, you deal with the consequences when they happen. The difference between, like, the way I play those characters and the way Sarah is when if one of my characters like makes a decision and there's consequences and I can't just like handle it and it gets caught and I have to like someone confronts me about you made that rash decision and it's having this consequence, I go, you're right. I don't know what to do about it, and or I gotta do something about it. But I will cop to my thoughtlessness did fuck this up. How do we fix it? Rather than, no, I didn't fuck up, fuck you. Like, I'm more interested in characters who impulsively do shit, bad consequences happen, and their response to that thing happening, or at the very least to getting called out or caught for that thing happening, is, yeah, you're right, how the fuck do we deal with the consequences I caused? If Sarah was a character that, like, thoughtlessly acted and it caused consequences, but she'd go, you're right, I did really fuck shit up. I can't promise I won't fuck shit up in future, but, like, I do acknowledge I fucked shit up now. I'd be a lot more into Sarah as a character. Tara says, Barbella taking responsibility for her actions, confusing Miss Killings, was so funny. Yeah, no, Miss Killings fully would be the Sarah here, would be the, yeah, why the fuck would you take responsibility for shit you did? Like, that's, you get out of it if you can. Whereas I'm like, no, my character will voluntarily give up being able to drink the wine that makes you gay for a while in order to take consequences. But anyway,
I'm going to hunt down
difference in
I need you to tell me everything
character choice desires.
They're quite rare and exceedingly dangerous. Their venom is the most potent of any wyvern. Ordinary hunters would not make the attempt. The risk is too great. You, my dear, would certainly be an equal to this monster.
Would I now? Would I now?
I didn't know you were an alchemist, Vivian. What exactly is this project you're working on?
It is a special request from a member of the Council of Heralds. I am still the Imperial Court Enchanter, after all. The matter is private. That is all there is to say.
The biggest defense of Sarah is how much she annoys Vivian. You're correct, but I thought you liked Vivian. Why would you think it's a positive that Sarah annoys Vivian if you like Vivian?
I'm not a hunter.
This beast is not hunted for sport. In the past, chevaliers have been dispatched by the
failed to click on a prompt there, that's on me.
Since my chevaliers have fallen to political conflict, I find myself in need of someone with a martial aptitude.
Sure, I'll do your quest.
Thank you, my dear. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart. I eagerly await your success.
Fine, I'll do a thing. I'll do a quest for you, Vivian. Why not? If we're wrapping all this shit up, let's do it. Point around I was sure there was a place for me to fast travel to around here. Okay, I should be able to go the long way around from here. Is there a compass there I'm missing? Where am I missing? Yeah, why am I not seeing the... Oh, it's... No, this isn't the right one. This is... Maybe I'm wrong? Yeah, no, this is the garrison. This is not the one that's on the correct side of where I'm trying to go. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll go there and we'll see. Ah, Black Wall's new art. There we go. I'll do the warp. Am I thinking of the right place? I might be thinking of the wrong place. Maybe this is the right place to warp to. No, yeah, this is the wrong place because we can't get across that wall. Somewhere around here, we were able to go like through a hole, and then we had to go through a whole underground segment, where we eventually came out here. I think what we need to do is just go to. No. Okay, we'll leave on foot and work it out, yes. This is the place where we spent forever trying to work out how to get through the wall. We eventually had to do a quest to blow the wall up. The hole in the wall is way down here somewhere. Actually, let's do it. This camp is just past the blown up wall. That's the one. I think I was confusing this with the... There's a desert area I think I'm confusing it with. Gilnane's Grove. That's one of the elven gods that Solus might be letting out at the start of Veilguard, maybe. A little bit. It seems. Yeah, I've got to find my way around to this. So I'm trying to go like this way.
It's quiet here. I like it.
Yeah, I've got my bearings. I remember where I'm at. We like getting close now. We're still a ways off. We'll get there. The heart of a snowy wyvern. The question is, what level are you going to be? Tara, why would I ever suggest that? Solus is perfect. It never makes any ill-thought-out decisions. Ever. Not even a once would he make an ill-thought-out decision. Ah, 15. Level 15's alright. And he definitely won't blame anyone else for his plans going wrong. Exactly. He's an honourable man, that Solus. Never one to shirk responsibility. Cool. Right, then back to here. The sleepiness, it threatens me. All this Solus hatred, honestly. What? No one hates Solus. Solus, innocent, pure little being who's never done anything wrong. Innocent little snowflake, that Solus. At least if you ask some of my friends like Mari would tell you Solus has never done nothing wrong. Not once. Not an ever. Not once ever has he done a bad. Oh no, okay, if you were being serious, I don't hate him. I think he's a fucking fascinating character. I think he's... he's done so many things wrong, I still want to sit on his face though. You're apparently not the only person.
What can I do for you, my dear? Is it too much to hope that you've brought me the heart of the snowy wyvern?
Oh, you... Yeah. You snide little asshole.
If you want the wyvern's heart, you'll tell me what you're using it for.
I can do better, darling. Give me the heart, and I'll show you what it's for. Will
Not really. But fine, I want to progress the thing. Let's see her do this shit.
How kind of you. Please accept this as your payment. I must begin work immediately. You have been a dear friend, and I would like you to come with me.
Where? What does that mean? Fucking tell me. You absolute fucking bastard. I was gonna say something harsher, and I'm like, no, I'll hold myself back. I was gonna really fucking go at her there.
This should only take a moment, Inquisitor.
You could just have fucking told us what she's fucking up to.
I'm here, my darling.
Ugh.
Vivienne. It's going to be all right, my love.
My darling? Bastien?
Well... shit.
There's nothing here now.
The beat, he says, see, she's a kind soul who shields herself from the world through a mask. Jack, in Mass Effect 2, is a kind soul hiding, shielding herself from the world through a mask of, like, pushing people away and being loud and arsehole-ish. Vivienne is genuinely just a bit of a bigot. Just a bit of a high and mighty, thinks she's better than everyone else fucking bigot. Who is only a kind soul to the person she happens to like. And anyone who's not that person, she's just a fucking arsehole to. Like, Vivienne is capable of empathy when she cares to be, but so often is just, you are not... You are just lesser than me. In a really fucking nasty way.
Bastien is dead. I can hardly believe.
Oh no!
It was the winter send.
Someone you happen to like died, now you care.
The Circle sent us to entertain the nobility.
Not Team Sarah or Vivienne. Both of them have flaws that really rub me the wrong way. Neither of them is a hugely likable character for me.
The Dowager tried to have him killed for slighting her, but he didn't care.
Yes, Kveldstrom puts it well. Solus doesn't like being reminded that other people are real, but he knows that they are. He can't. He just can't let himself see it. Vivienne only values the Inquisitor for what you can do for her. She only views fucking anyone for what they can do for her and the people that she happens to like.
Obviously, he was smitten. But what did you think of him?
He was a dashing rogue, and any defects he might have had were made up for with rank and importance. It was a more innocent time, I suppose. And now he's gone, and
I was okay with his flaws because he was important.
And his sister will make a terrible fuss if she isn't informed first. And I'll need to arrange for the Chantry services. Maker only knows how long that will take.
I'm gonna be a decent person and
I
offer
can help
to
you.
help.
Just say the word.
No, my dear. Excuse me.
Like, you fucking flip a light switch and suddenly you're a human being with feelings the second that, like, one of yours is involved. Like, if you even once showed, like, a sliver of this to anyone else that wasn't, like, already you like or that is helpful to you, like...
You walked physically through the Fade. Please tell me what you remember. I had visions. Echoes of what happened to me the first time. The Divine was there. Or something like her. Manifestations of your own mind, perhaps? Or external memories awakened by your presence? No one else has physically entered the Fade since the Magisters assaulted the Golden City.
Oh, I've got to turn the volume up again, haven't I?
Positively envious right now.
Dialogue. Okay, oh, how do I do this stupid Before the Dawn quest? Do I have to go find one of the stupid quests on the war table? Before the Dawn. Inquisition, Before the Dawn. Okay, how do I do this stupid quest? To Dagna. Who is Dagna? Find Samson's weakness quest. Okay, where the fuck is Dagna? Does anyone know where I find a Dagna? Room to the left of the throne. The one that doesn't show up on the fucking map. Okay. Left when looking at the throne, so this room here, or the Undercroft. I'm gonna try Undercroft. My gut says Undercroft. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
Served the Lord who loaded his cattle. That was it. Point made.
Nope, does not seem to be down here. I haven't picked her up, apparently. How do I get her, then? Because I'm looking at a walkthrough for this stupid quest. And it's like... I'm just gonna go speak with Dagna. You get her through a war table mission. Okay. Oh, something about the Arcanist. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so what's the fucking... roundtable quest, then? But that's the thing, is I'm trying... Yeah, okay, so she's the Arcanist that I'm trying to find. Acquire the Arcanist. I've not seen one on the war table called Acquire the Arcanist. I'll have a look. I'll have another look. Because that's what I've been looking for. Every time I come to the war table, I've been looking for Acquire the Arcanist and just not fucking finding it. Okay, let's methodically work through this. Yeah, Elden Ruins, well, I remember it. Okay, so the Ferelden side. Yeah, this is one of the reasons I would love to just have a list view. Oh, there. Okay, yeah. Just... Okay, there we go. It's so hard to find things that are useful in this format. Just let me go left and right on the D-pad and methodically cycle through them and eventually loop back to the start of the list so that I literally cannot accidentally miss the thing. It just automatically, I've seen all of them in a methodical order. Give me a top to bottom list. Ah. I've just realized I left the room without redeeming that quest. Well, no, it had automatically. I don't have to do that. Okay. That time I don't have to do it. Okay. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's the thing. I've not been nearly as, like, wiki focused as I often am playing this. I shouldn't have to have that many wiki things open to do this, but yeah, the war table is a source of constant frustration.
The Arcanist has arrived?
You should see for yourself.
And then we'll probably wrap it here and on Monday start with the continuing Cullen's quest. Or do we keep going a little later tonight? I gotta be up in the morning to, like, go somewhere. But maybe I stay up and keep going a little longer. Like, a little more progress.
Hello there. Well, don't just stand there slack-jawed. Let's figure out what you need.
Okay. Where are you at? There you are.
Dagna, what have you learned of Samson?
He should be dead. I mean, you could make a hat out of red lyrium and kill people. Especially the... Samson's armor is genius. To do all this and not go insane, he must be resistant. Or he is insane. Or both.
You're not comforting me, Dagna.
Oh, fine. I just need time.
Is that why?
Everything is safe if handled properly. Time and resources, Inquisitor.
Okay. Now we can do the Samson's Weakness quest. There we go. Okay, that's the question. How long is it going to take for the Samson's Weakness quest to redeem? If it's like 5 minutes, we stick around and do... we go continue. If it's like a half hour, I ain't sticking around. To the people in chat who were talking about, like, ruined BioWare playthroughs by bad choices, look, we all have to have that one experience of playing Mass Effect 2 and having way too many people die in the suicide mission. You know, it's a rite of passage in BioWare. Okay, now we're gonna find... new quest. Find the wheat. Oh, is it going to be on the Ferelden? I would assume it'd be on the Ferelden side again. Busy. Why is it busy? Why can't I pick it? Only 2 of my people are busy doing things. You're gonna be like 3 hours. You're gonna be like 3 minutes. Okay, well, we wait 3 minutes to get that amulet for Cole and see if Josephine can be sent for the Find a Weakness quest. And then assess from there. Ugh. Oh, I think I talked about it in the Discord. I don't think I've talked about it on Twitch. Have you seen that PlayStation accidentally provided visual confirmation of the imminent announcement of the PS5 Pro in a way that was kind of amusing? Like a week, maybe a week and a half ago, some leaker was like, hey, I've seen the design of the PS5 Pro. Here is a mock-up. Here's what it looks like. It looks like a PS5 with a bunch of diagonal lines down the center of it. Like diagonally down on the center. And then PlayStation put out a 30th anniversary celebration of PlayStation image. And there's a bunch of like silhouetted like controllers and consoles and things in like faintly in the background of the image. And one of them is a PS5 that has multiple diagonal lines down the middle of it, exactly where the like 10 days ago leaker I've seen a PS5 Pro mock-up showed them being. And everyone's looking at that going, that PS5 Pro is really fucking ready, like imminently ready to be revealed, huh? If it's so close to reveal that you could accidentally get your wires crossed and not realize that you have an image showing it that you've accidentally put out into the world. Because either this 30th anniversary image got posted early, or your PS5 Pro announcement got pushed back slightly, and it just shifted just enough to be the wrong way around. I am big team. I feel like Monday or Tuesday next week we get PS5 Pro announcement. Like I am big on the suspicion of like Monday or Tuesday next week we get PS5 Pro reveal. The following week we get a State of Play. Following week we get a Nintendo Direct. I think that is like the next 3 weeks I think are big. Have we waited 3 minutes? Have I been patient enough? Can I come back in now? Actually, did I have any of the exclamation ones on this side? No. 15 seconds. We can just watch and wait this out. Now, where is... No, not that. Okay.
Let us begin.
20 minutes. We'll see how long talking to Cole takes. Maybe we stick around. Maybe we stick around. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I talk myself into doing a slightly later finish tonight. We'll see. I shouldn't. I have an early morning, but Dragon Age calls.
Long day.
Hey Cole, I got your special
Our
necklace.
heroes rode the winding road, defiant of the vile.
Uncertain falls for home and call when met the monster smile. A man is kin through blood and
The BT, I have some disagreements with what we've learned today. Vivienne being the Divine, definitely not a place where I see eye to eye
Teaches
with
them
you.
to fight with a secret flaw, part of a glorious strategy.
I found the amulet that Solus told us about. Would you like to try it on?
Yes, but not here. I like it here. We need some place that can go away if it becomes sharp. What do I do with it?
You found one of the amulets. Excellent. May I? It is simple enough. You put it on, I charge it with magic, and you should be protected.
Are you ready, Cole?
They can't make me a monster.
Yeah, no, Vivian does have to really be fucking talked down from some genocide.
What was that?
Vivian's really gonna do some genocide if not prevented.
Stopping blood mages from binding me like the demons at Adamant. But it didn't work.
Something is interfering with the enchantment.
Something like Cole not being a demon?
Solus, is it possible that the amulet doesn't work on Cole because he's too... human?
Regardless of Cole's special circumstances, he remains a spirit.
Yes, a spirit who is strangely like a person.
I don't matter. Just lock away the parts of me that someone else could knot together to make me follow.
Focus on the amulet. Tell me what you feel.
This is one of the more interesting Solus scenes.
Warm, soft blanket covering, but it catches tears. I'm the wrong shape. There's something. There. That way.
We'll find whatever is preventing the amulet from working, and we'll make it right.
All right, kid. Get Cullen and work with him on the map to figure out where you're sensing something wrong.
Will you come with me? All of you?
Yeah.
Sure. All right, I get it. You like spirits. But he came into this world to be a person. Let him be one.
If I see a way to protect Cole without taking away whatever he is, I'll use it. But Cole clearly needs our help.
I'm not saying we do nothing. But that ritual of theirs only works on demons, right?
This is not some fanciful story, child of the stone. We cannot change our nature by wishing.
You don't think?
However we deal with the problem, our next step is to track down whatever is interfering with the enchantment.
We cannot change our nature by wishing is such an interesting take. Because, like, it tells you that Solus is a person solidly convinced that a person's nature cannot change, and that kind of includes his own. It is a very rigid way of thinking, and I can see how that kind of thinking leads to making decisions like opening up a fucking elven god prison to, like, fucking do a prisoner transfer, because I started this plan and one cannot change their nature.
Give me a moment. Greetings. Can I help you?
Solus is being kind of a fucking turf. A little bit of a fucking turf.
I don't even know you.
You forgot! You locked me in the dungeon in the Spire, and you forgot, and I died in the dark!
The Spire?
Solus is fascinating in that scene. I don't like him. He's fascinating. I like his performance as a character in that scene. I should clarify.
He killed me! That's why it doesn't work! He killed me, and I have to kill him
Cole,
back!
this is so not you.
If he killed you, wouldn't you be dead?
Cole, this man cannot have killed you. You are a spirit. You have not even possessed a body.
A broken body, bloody, banged on the stone cell, guts gripping in the dark, dank. a captured apostate. They threw him into the dungeon in the spire at Val Royo. They forgot about him. He starved to death. I came through to help. And I couldn't. So I became...
Yes.
Cole.
Solus believes that no one can change. He kind of has to.
Make the guy we just saw a Templar. Must have been buying lyrium.
Yeah, if Solus is to acknowledge that people can change, that means he has to acknowledge they can be more than he sees them as, which means he has to acknowledge maybe all those people I killed and like wrote off as if they were nothing are people?
Solus?
We cannot let Cole kill the man.
I don't think anyone was going to suggest that, Chuckles.
Cole is a spirit. The death of the real Cole wounded him, perverted him from his purpose. To regain that part of himself, he must forgive.
Come on. You don't just forgive someone killing you.
You don't. A spirit can.
Varric?
The kid's angry. He needs to work through it.
A spirit does not work through emotions. It embodies them.
But he isn't a spirit, is he? He made himself human. And humans change. They get hurt. And they heal. He needs to work it out like a person.
You would alter the essence of what he is.
He did that to himself when he left the Fade. I'm just helping him survive it.
Cole will become more like a spirit, the amulet should function properly. Cole will become more human, the amulet may not be necessary.
Before I decide anything, I need a clearer picture of what happened.
It seems the real Cole was an apostate, captured and taken to the Circle by Templars.
Who aren't known for their gentle nature.
As the young man starved to death in a dungeon, his pain caught the attention of a spirit, likely one of compassion.
Compassion?
An uncommon spirit, certainly, and all too fragile when its efforts to help prove to be in vain.
Ooh, what do you reckon, chat? What do you reckon, chat? He needs to grow or he needs to forgive? I know what I want. I'll give you a second, but then I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I am on team, he's got to become more human. And I want to tell you why. I have a couple of reasons I'm on team make Cole more human. Cole was originally, like, as a spirit, was murdering people in order to try and help them and had to be taught, like, that is morally wrong. Cole admits himself, and has done in dialogue, spirits don't have particularly long memories. Like, the memory of a spirit does not last long. It is a lesson he learned, but not a lesson that will necessarily stick with him long term. It is just the fate of a spirit. But more specifically, like, Cole doesn't want to return to the Fade. Like, to become more of a spirit is ultimately to return to a state that's gonna make you more able to return to the Fade at some point. And, like, that's not what he wants. Cole has explicitly sort of stated he wants to stay and help people. He has abilities that allow him to help people. He has learned the things he needs to learn to not make things worse while trying to help people. And he wants to be in, like, the mortal plane helping people. And I think becoming more human, if nothing else, will make it more likely he can remember the lessons he's learned, stay tethered to the earth, and keep helping people. And that fundamentally seems to be what he wants. If you keep in the spirit, he's bound to Solus, and this seems like a fuck you to Solus playthrough. It is a bit of a fuck you to Solus playthrough just because we know where he's going. But, I know it's going to piss off Solus. I know it's not going to win us any Solus points, to make Cole less of a spirit, but, like, Cole specifically wants to not hurt people going forward. He wants to help people without hurting them. And anything that keeps him more grounded to the human experience, I think, is going to allow him to do that. I think it's going to make sure that he doesn't drift back to losing that connection to what is it to be human and what is it to help humans.
Cole will never grow into a real person until he comes to terms with what happened.
Cole greatly approves.
All right, kid. You want revenge? Come with me.
It's not even necessarily a fuck you Solus playthrough. It's a, I want to confront Solus with situations he really dislikes to get him to rattle a little bit, to get him to show cracks in the facade.
Going to help him now, is it, kid?
No.
Pull the trigger and put him down like a mad dog. Do it.
No!
How you doing, kid? Feel any better?
No.
You can't make it all just go away. I learned that the hard way.
Forget.
No. He needs to remember. You too.
Yeah, I think this is the healthier thing for Cole. He, in a safe environment, thinks he's doing the thing that he wants to do, taking the revenge, in a way that doesn't actually do it, and gives him a second to reflect and go, to your understanding, you thought you were gonna, like, you were pulling the trigger that was gonna get you that violence you wanted. Did it make you feel any better? No? You learned an incredibly fucking valuable lesson.
For all we know,
Older.
the amulet will now never function. Cole remains vulnerable to binding.
No, he isn't. The amulet didn't work because he's too human, right? Maybe now the kid's also too human for that binding magic to work on him.
I hope you're right.
It still hurts. When do I stop hurting?
Being with your friends can make you feel better.
Come on, kid. Let's go for a walk. It'll clear your head.
The left hand misses a friend with 2 different names. She's hurting, sad, alone, but everyone can see me now. They remember. How do I put honey in Leliana's wine without her noticing?
I can help with that.
It is good that he is not entirely changed, however human he becomes.
It's an interesting quest, certainly. I can see valid arguments no matter which way you want to take it. I think it's a really interesting choice.
Or you just need to admire the dwarf.
Okay. Right. If we wait like 8 minutes, that timer will finish and we can go do Cullen's little quest. Fuck it. We're sticking with this at least we're sticking at least the next 8 minutes. Anyone got new dialogue
What
for
do you
me?
need, my friend?
Probably not. We did a lot of socializing today, I think. We can catch up with Sarah. Is Sarah gonna have anything new? We spoke to Sarah like 5 minutes ago. I don't think Sarah's gonna have anything new.
How can I...
Other than thinking I suck. Okay, we go see Sarah. Go see if Sarah thinks we suck any less.
You alright, sir?
Long
Oh hey, Sarah, do you still think I suck?
Your wish is something, something.
Yeah, you still think I suck. Cool.
I'll be back if I need you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Cole, of course.
Right. That's why.
I wanted to give it a sec. I was working there. I'm working my way.
He sounds new. Echoes of laughter on an empty riverbed. Not for sailing, but safer.
How would you like to get out of here? Maybe do something fun.
I don't know. I've never tried.
Come on.
Oh, well, yay.
Inquisitor, you honor us with your presence. May I bring a sampling of fine cheeses for you and your guest?
I don't eat.
Okay, you get this if he's a spirit too. Cool.
Well then, just a bottle of a fine Gislaine White to start. Please enjoy your meal this evening, your worship.
He saw me. They all see me.
I'm glad you've allowed them to.
I don't know if I did. I find people when their pain leaves them open. I ease the pain. I leave, they forget. That was enough for me. Now they remember, and I'm not sure...
People can now remember the nice things you do for them, and that's lovely.
Cole?
I told you about Reese. The mage who could see me, my friend. My only friend for a long time. Evangeline showed me that Templars could be kind, but even she...
Cole, if this is troubling, we don't have to talk about it.
Gentle. You watch me walk into darkness over and over, and you always worry. Thank you.
You're laughing at yourself?
Yes. This world taught me that changing means losing your friends. But now I know that doesn't have to be true.
Changing can be what helps you
I
make
have enough
friends.
self to know that what I felt was foolish. Isn't it wonderful?
It's another good step, Cole.
I might like being human. What do you think I'll learn next?
I'm glad you're happy, Cole. I'm glad this is working for you. You're a good egg. Autistic solidarity. I will reiterate as we said earlier. We've both got autism, haven't we? That's good to know. Nearly done.
It's made from people.
May I ask how things are now that you're more human?
It hurts. Everything hurts. Everyone remembers me now. I can only make them miss me for a few heartbeats. But I'm real. More real, anyway. And I understand more than I did.
You're still able to sense the feelings of others, aren't you?
Yes, I still feel things, flashes of their minds. Pain, hurt, all of it. It's not so loud anymore. I make more noise myself, so I don't hear as much unless I want to. I remember more things, though. It lets me learn. I sometimes see why something I said would bother Cullen. Maybe I'll do it less.
Maybe.
What's the difference between you and a spirit now?
Spirits are... they just are. Most of them sense something that interests them and stick to it. They don't remember much. It keeps them pure, but it also keeps them from learning, from growing. I wanted to help people, but I only knew enough to do it in the simplest way. Now I can see more. I also want to hit people a lot. Varric is helping with that.
Are you still physically the same?
I like
Or
the
are you
idea
fully
of
human?
spirits learning to take a form being where the elves came from. That is an interesting
I
concept.
could do before, except make people forget. The way I move comes from my mind, not my body. My body is just like the real Cole's, except that he was a mage. I'm not.
Why aren't you a mage?
I can't know for sure, but the real Cole, his father beat him, killed his mother. Then the Templars threw Cole in darkness and starved him, all because he had magic. He thought that if he didn't have magic, I'm what he wanted to be. Him, but normal.
Oh, that's brutal.
So no one would hurt him.
That's brutal.
Can you still help people if you can't make them forget?
It's harder. I can't start over if I do it wrong. But seeing me changes them. They know a person wants them to hurt less.
Yeah.
That helps.
Why can't you make people forget you anymore?
Because I'm real. The forgetting was for both sides. Making people forget was a defense against people attacking me. Because I'm real, everything sticks. Whatever people think of.
Hello, I have taken on the form
He didn't
of...
kill his father. He was his father.
I've taken on the form of person who just wished they didn't have magic so they wouldn't be beaten. Fucking brutal. Kveldstrom says, Kveldstrom talking about the theory of elves coming to be being spirits who learn to take a form. Again, wouldn't surprise me if that's something that came up in Velgard, in as much as Velgard really seems primed to be in some ways a game about the origins of some of the species in Thedas and how they sort of came to be. Okay, we're nearly done. Let's check if that quest on the board is done. Is this one? Yep. We found the weakness. Is that quest done, or do we have more we need to do? Oh, I had that list for this quest up, didn't I? Where was it? Finding Samson's weakness. We do. It's Before the Dawn. Before the Dawn is the one we're on. Okay, go talk to Cullen. Terra says apparently they all had all the backstory back in Dragon Age Origins and they've just been sitting on it all this time. I mean, we've seen stuff like, I think the obvious one is Harding seeming to be able to access some stone magic in Belgard, and that definitely does sort of lead to this idea of maybe some of those origins coming to light a little. Right, let's chat to Cullen. And then we start up... Yeah, we'll wrap it here. We'll start Monday's quest with going after
no
Samson.
allies, and soon Samson will have no armor, I hope.
You hope?
Dagna's started work on her red lyrium samples, but she needs more details on the armor. We found orders in the mine. They mention Maddox. A name I did not expect to hear.
There we go.
Samson's letter said something about taking over as the vessel.
Perhaps it's a rank among the Red Templars. It could be a title from ancient Tevinter. Or it's some other role Corypheus has planned for Samson, and Maddox is part of it.
Another voice from your past?
In a way. This is complicated. Maddox was a mage in Kirkwall's circle. Samson smuggled letters between him and his sweetheart. Eventually, Samson was caught. That's why he was cast out of the Order. Maddox was made tranquil and became a skilled craftsman of magical items. Samson must have rescued him.
Can't believe they made a man tranquil over a few love letters.
The official charge was corrupting the moral integrity of a Templar. Knight Commander Meredith wielded the brand for far lesser offenses, believe me.
Perhaps there's something left of the man Samson used to be.
Or he's shrewd enough to know an extraordinary resource. It seems Maddox built Samson's armor for him, and maintains it still. Tranquil and Kirkwall needed rare and expensive supplies for their enchantments. I can have our men kick down some doors.
Yeah, Tranquil is such a fucked up thing in this
Samson's
world,
armor
right?
might lead us right to his...
Okay. Oh.
At your service.
Okay, so we're gonna have to... Yeah, so this is another quest that's gonna have a timer on it. So we're gonna go set this quest up at its timer, and then we'll come back on Monday and finish yet another personal character side quest. We made progress today, though. We've done several personal quests. We made a lot of progress. We're cracking on. We're getting toward that end game. We fast approacheth. It's gonna be over in Ferelden again. Where is this stupid quest on the fucking war table? Unless it's already... No, it's on here. Dispatch agents to locate Maddox. Ugh. Recent Evangeline? No.
Inquisitor.
It's not that. Not that one. Does anyone know where this Maddox quest is? Oh, track down Samson. And I'm just not allowed to do it. Why? Why can I not do it? Are the wrong party members available? What was there left on this? Okay, I guess we save and we come back next time to try and do this. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed another stream of Dragon Age Inquisition. I hope you've enjoyed. We'll be back on Monday with some more. There we go. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. We'll be back with some more soon. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Good night.